Hello, welcome to the HomeBhoys Led podcast. It is Friday, the 5th of June. I'm, of course, Joe McKenna. We are back for a post-season blether, and we have managed to time this perfectly in today's date as the announcement has been made that Martin O'Neill will be the permanent manager for next season for a one-year contract. I am joined by a murderer's row of vagabonds out there in Wishaw, Jason Higgins. That's happening, brother.
Hail, hail.
Hail, brother. Feeling good, feeling good.
Not really.
No. We'll get down to that in due course. This show is kind of therapy. Also from the Royal Borough, Longshanks. What's happening, sir?
How are you, Joe? Good?
I'm good. I've had a fucking mental week at work, but today, so you know,
Same.
when you get to Friday and you feel like you've accomplished a good bit in the week, you're like, you know what, that feels better. Man, there's still loads of shit to do next week, but I mean, I feel like I got fucking the bulk of it done. Anyway, enough of that shit. And also out there in Camus Lang, Scott McCory, the man we haven't heard from a wee while. What's happening, brother?
Go fuck yourself, Joe.
Absolutely. Expect no less. We will be joined by Marty Flynn at some point later in the day. He's a man about West Belfast, is what he is. I mean, so who knows what he's at? He's everywhere and he's nowhere. He's everybody and he's nobody. So we'll have him on the way, but we're going to get chatting. We were planning to come on tonight, just have a good old fucking chinwag about things that are going on. I suppose that will be essentially what we do, but there's now a big ticket item on the agenda, and that is that in between the time we decided to nail this to a time tonight, they announced that Martin O'Neill is now the manager for next season, and we have body swerved the possibility of a Robbie Keane appointment that was going to cause all kinds of problems, but we will get into that now in a second. Where do you want to start this? Just with the O'Neill appointment, like we just go down the road of how we feel about that?
Might as well.
I am mightily relieved. I mean, I'm not overly inspired, but I'm mightily relieved it wasn't Robbie Keane because of the obvious and incoming backlash that was going to happen, and it was happening. I'm glad that it wasn't him. O'Neill, you'd imagine, has been given assurances, and the massive positive for me that I see with O'Neill being appointed is that there's someone there who has enough of a knowledge of how to develop the structures of clubs and how to develop how things operate and how things move and how things work. I think that is obviously very sorely needed at Celtic. Now, whether he gets a chance to actually be a person that can influence any of that is to be seen, because we know ourselves that in the past assurances have been made of managers, and then 10 months down the line you realize that, you know, the rug didn't pull a bit. So that's kind of my feelings on it. Maybe relieved, and I'm looking forward to seeing what will become of the squad and the team under the stewardship of Martin O'Neill and Fozzie and Maloney, if that is indeed the entire kind of backroom staff. I'll throw to you first, Jason. Throw to you first. I mean, are you buzzing, or are you just like, thank fucking God?
No, I'm just kind of relieved, same as yourself. I'm not inspired in the slightest, and I've got no confidence in the hierarchy. It's the Desmonds. Doesn't matter hierarchy. There isn't a hierarchy. It's just the Desmonds. I've no confidence in them whatsoever. So, very uninspiring getting a 74-year-old manager in for a year, because they've not got any vision to get anybody else. And the only other one they had in the frame was a guy who's done fuck all in football. Really, he's managed, to me anyway, he's managed two of the biggest teams in their country, and one of them they managed to lose the league. And obviously with the obvious managing in Israel, what that was going to bring to the table. And I was terrified that he was going to get the manager's job, so I'm very relieved. And nothing at all against Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill gave me my best time supporting Celtic. And obviously last year was unbelievable, but definitely not inspired, and I'm not like champing at the bit waiting for some beautiful football next year. And we'll wait and see how backed he gets by the Desmonds, and time will tell. But similar to yourself, Joe, just very relieved that it's not Robbie Keane, to be honest with you.
I mean, there was a certain inherent stress of me going like, surely they're not going to put us through this or put themselves through this even. Like, surely there are ways enough to go, you know what, who needs that?
I don't think they give a flying fuck. You know,
Aye, I know, and that was my fear. They're just going like that. You know what? That makes logical sense. It's pretty
but
practical.
maybe they did take into account the feeling of a large proportion of the fans. But who knows? We'll never know. But aye, it's.
There is a bit of an underwhelming sense of like our biggest move is to pull a guy out of the geriatric ward and go, you still get it in you, champ. You know what I mean? I think
that's all we've got, you know, and it's sickening for a club of our size the way it's ran. Go to Scotland, and then we can come back and discuss it as a group. So
Scott,
you're
always the most chipper person on this podcast. How are you taking the news?
For fuck's sake, man. On 8 different fucking ways, underwhelmed, pissed off, let down, expected, fucking nothing really positive about it, aside for the fact that I love Martin O'Neill, right? There's so many things. Martin O'Neill protected the club last season from more protests, from more anger, because of A, his own ability, and B, who he is. I think if it wasn't Martin O'Neill, those results in Dundee United would have got a bigger backlash than they did. Stuff like that. So once again, you've got to say they've played it clever. If the rumours, which we've all heard rumours, and we're all putting supposition on things, and as Jason rightly says, we'll never know. We'll hear from one person, then we'll hear a contradictory view from the next. In terms of the Robbie Keane thing, I don't think not appointing him has let them off the hook. The fact is, they were going to appoint him. They knew from day one that he was a bad appointment, especially after the season we've just had and the divisive nature of everything that went on. They knew, they went through the process, and see if they have decided to not go with him because of the protests. Is it not a fucking easy win for them to come out and say that? Well, we're going to go down this line. The fans have shown it. We've decided to allow them to say, to back the fans and create that unity. It's an easy win, but they wouldn't give that. We've spoken about this before. They wouldn't cede nothing to us. There's rumours floating out there. Did they court the Keane thing to make the Martin O'Neill appointment more palatable? Maybe. I was always comforting myself with the Martin O'Neill appointment, that if Martin O'Neill is appointment, he's the one guy who everybody in this planet that couldn't get bullshitted. I think everybody else, you could have brought them in. Oh, we've got this squad and we've got this cracking midfielder, this Negro, and he scored a wad of goal. Oh, what a team. Whereas Martin O'Neill knows what we need. And that's the major positive, is that Martin O'Neill is in control and he knows what this team needs. So to drag some positivity is that. But we went for Keane knowing what it was going to do. If the rumours are true, we all got a rumour float. We all got a WhatsApp floating about a week ago or something, suggesting that Martin O'Neill was going to take the job and Robbie Keane's going to be beside him. Now, that seemed like hell on earth. I think they've appointed Martin O'Neill. But there's a bit me suggest Martin O'Neill had put himself into a good position in terms of what he achieved. So if the job was there and it suited him, that maybe he deserved. But I think Celtic should be beyond that. Look at clubs like that. But I'm going to go to the extreme, as we often like to do when we're talking about Celtic, because we hold them in such high regards, even though we know that we're fucking not. Jupp Heynckes wins a fucking treble with Bayern Munich, the European Cup, but they've got Pep Guardiola coming in. That's pre-planning by a club, you know what I mean? Whereas we're just an absolute shambles. I backed myself up that if Martin O'Neill was getting a gig, that at least, as I said, he knew it was under the bonnet, and they would afford them the riches to make it right. But I've kind of went beyond what you asked me. I'm a step away from Scunner, Joe.
I get that. I think at the minute my relief is kind of definitely elevating my meh sort of feeling about the whole thing, which you've kind of articulated pretty well. But we'll move on to Longers, see what he thinks. I mean, I think we're all kind of on the same sort of wavelength at the minute, unless Liam, unless maybe you're fucking ready to punch in the air, yeah.
No, just pretty much the same, but just maybe a slight difference on it. But the fact that anyone is using the term relieved to describe a managerial appointment is incredible, really. That should never be the way you're looking at appointing a manager of a club the size of Celtic, but totally understandable under the circumstances. I think you need to look at it in 3 or 4 different facets of the whole thing. I mean, if you look at his record last season, head to head against his peers or the managers he's going to face next season at the moment, I think he had about 14 or 15 points ahead of them over the periods that he was a manager. Of the 2 times, won at Ibrox in the Cup, won in Europe, won in Holland, won in Germany, drew in Italy with 10 men. Didn't lose to Hibs or Hearts in that spell when he was there either. And all this was despite not being backed by the board and having arguably the weakest team and squad we've seen for, fuck knows, a number of years. Won a double and probably would have won a treble if he wouldn't have left in that period of time. So I think if you take it from that view, then you'd have to be, pretty confident that next season we've got every chance of getting the Champions League and having more success domestically. But then you flip it on its side and you look at it and say, this guy was in the building up until 2 weeks ago. He's been there twice this season. Why does it take 2 weeks to confirm that appointment? And maybe he was the number 1 choice all along and he wanted some time to reflect. He kind of did allude to that a little bit. But I'm sure if you put an offer under his nose after the cup final, he probably would have gone and signed it. But maybe he had the sense to let things die down. But just smacks of short-sightedness, lack of options, lack of opportunity from the board, not really casting the net far and wide. And for me, just because of the age of him, because of his age and the nature of the contract being, I think it's 1 year with an option or whatever, it's still got that big short-termism banner on the top of it, which allows the board to kind of sneak out of doing some proper recruitment here now. We'd like to think O'Neill will hold them to account and get the backing he needs. The January transfer window gives me the fear thinking of that, but maybe that was just a temporary thing. Get to the end of the season, blah blah blah. If he's not back properly this summer, with the money that we've got, with the opportunity that we've got to get in the Champions League, then you'd have to question who the fuck is ever going to get the backing that's needed with the money we've got at this club. But I love him. He's a great guy, but again, the way we played, the way we were coached, or appeared to be not to be coached last year, we struggled to see a pattern of play and anything too progressive or exciting. But then again, maybe it was just a question of the players are pretty poor. They've had 3 different managers. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just win. Just get the win. Just get the win. Just get the win. And maybe we'll see something different with a full pre-season. Maybe some fresh blood into the coaching. I don't know. And some new players. We might see a completely different transformation. So there's two sides to the appointment. The frustration or the dejection is understandable, but I don't think any of it's about the man himself. It's more about the age of him, the kind of short-termism, and the board just kind of sitting on their arse and seeing what's right at the end of the nose, as per usual.
Can I ask, Red, do you think an appointment like this further diminishes Celtic's ability to draw in fresh talent when it comes to managerial appointments?
It's hard to know, Joe, isn't it? Because we don't seem to try. I mean, since Eddie Howe, we kind of had our fingers burnt. I'm not sure that we've really tried. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, none of us all know, I guess. But it doesn't feel like we've tried to go any further afield, does it?
No. Well, I mean, that doesn't feel like it, and there's also no evidence to prove that it's ever actually happened. Because we're told fuck all.
The bit for me is we've got a guy, the Phantom, that's on 900 grand a year as a CEO, And every manager comes in and says, Dermot phoned me up, Dermot this, Dermot that. Dermot conducts the interviews. That's some fucking CEO gig, by the way. I want one of them. I want a CEO gig where your fucking remit is to do fuck all.
I read the day, I don't know how true that he's just jetted off on holiday today. I'm serious.
He works on Christmas Day, don't forget.
What a fucking gig, man. That's the dream job, isn't it? The dream job. Doesn't he fucking say nothing? Doesn't he communicate to the fans? Doesn't he do nothing? Doesn't he interview MD? Just fucking sits there and just fucking...
Do you know what his great skill is? Do you know what his main skill is? I think, Jason, is that if he passed you in the street, you wouldn't fucking recognize who he was.
The Phantom.
I mean, you wouldn't know. You fucking could be anybody. Could work in deals. Who the fuck knows?
What is the fucking point? What's the point of us being a chairman? What's the point of us? Fucking, we've not got anybody. We've got the Desmonds. Desmond and his boy. They just decide absolutely everything that goes on at that football club.
It's Desmond Incorporated. That's basically what we are.
Fucking unbelievable. So know that any of us are in the know, and we know that we're never in the know. So what does it make sense? What doesn't make sense to me was this mooted that they were interviewing Robbie Keane first and then interviewing Matt O'Neill, right? Which seems fucking bizarre. Whether that was true or not, who knows, right? Do you think there's any merit in Matt O'Neill knocked the job back in the first place because he wasn't going to get backed and maybe Celtic have relented? Do you think there's any merit?
I mean, you're asking that question and you know the answer. If anybody's sitting here going, no chance, that's madness, then they're a fucking idiot. Of course there is. Celtic's a fucking shambles, man.
But
you've got to remember, under this fucking establishment, right? I know it was a long time ago now. Owen Coyle, Celtic fucking mad, not back Celtic. I mean, this is. I know a lot happened since and stuff, but we're such a. You guys often task me, and I like doing it to do a wee bit of research and give us an end of season. And this one's going to be particularly. I'd probably have it done if last season wasn't a basket case, because we're going to try and look at the whole Rodgers thing as well. And just looking at the Rodgers appointment the second time, I mean, honestly, I think we are all tied up at the back because Rodgers come back and every one of us to a man went, well, things must be different for him now because he wouldn't come back otherwise. So Liam's saying it there. Would any of you be surprised if Martin O'Neill gets to September and goes, fuck this?
Not in the slightest.
Not in any way.
And do you know what?
Can't have expected it.
But do you know what? I think it's at the stage now, well, for me anyway, and I think most folk would be the same, that you kind of expect it to happen because you expect fucking multitudes of broken promises, you know? And whatever assurances he'll have been given at the minute, I wouldn't be confident in being followed through, you know, because...
Go on, Jason, sorry, finishing on.
No, it's just again, it's just we're an absolute basket case of a football club. They cannot read the room. They have no clue what they're doing. And it's just, I think we've been lucky that we've had kind of decent managers, apart from your man Nancy. But
yeah,
on the flip side, if you look back, we've had Matt O'Neill, Rodgers, Ange, Rodgers. So you've had good, competent managers there that hide a multitude of sins. You know, imagine we had a lengthy period a mediocre manager. You know, look, you can't use Nancy, he was an absolute basket case. But imagine you had like just mediocre managers that couldn't get the best out of what we've got in front of us. The likelihood is we would have a team on double, well, apart from when the Huns started spending money, but a team that'd be on a lot more than what they would be on, and then 5 times, 6 times what the rest of the league would be on, struggling to win the league.
Aye.
And that's just fucking wrong on so many levels.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing's changed off the pitch yet. Like, absolutely zero. So even if he's got some backing agreed, we want to speculate and say he's got some backing agreed, then where's the scouting coming from? Where's the players coming from? Where's the structure to do that?
Right. I know. But you would think, obviously, they would have identified between him, Maloney, Fotheringham, etc. They would have identified a good few players in their final 6-7 weeks. You don't think? Because obviously he would have known if he wins the league, he's got a good chance of being here this year.
But has it even been announced by Celtic?
No, I don't think so.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I don't think so. But are you surprised? Celtic will probably last to announce it. It's been on the Scottish news and everything.
They're not open until Monday morning. They're not open until 9 o'clock Monday morning. Come on. The weekend.
Just,
oh my God.
What a football club.
But just going back to your point there, Jason, I mean, obviously look at the state of the players we signed in January. I mean, who scouted them and who approved the signings of them? Or was it just a case of anybody is better than nobody? And it wasn't really.
But Liam, you've got to think about it, right? And again, I don't know how much it's true because there's no connection between us and the club at this point. I mean, we're as far removed from Celtic than now as ever. And we seem to, I mean, like the boy for Go Ahead Eagles is back on the table. That was what we heard a week ago. And if that's true, Tisdale fucking left. People are telling me that Tisdale took everything out the door. We had nothing booked. And I mean, even you go to the Ballock Wisher one, and it's, I don't know, do we just have a big list and that's who you're getting? It's sucking.
Looks like, doesn't it? Looks like.
Whoever come on this to be cheered up, good luck.
I'm just on the Celtic website, on the news section, and no mention.
I mean, what are we doing?
The latest news is Celtic FC Foundation and World Cup Celtic. That's the latest news. That's it.
Celtic won the league.
I've got to be honest. I'm not really down about this at all. Like, I'm comfortable now. It's O'Neill. Like I said, his record last year stands up. If we get some good players in, you'd be confident he gets us to the Champions League qualifier. But if you want to prod a bit further than that, then that's when the concerns start to come. But I think the way it's been the last few years, we should just be enjoying it fucking game for game or month for month just now and just seeing where it takes us.
Aye. All right, Liam, positive man.
I know. I'm actually quite pecked up listening to Liam. You speak a good bit of sense here, Skip, and I kind of agree with you, but we'll wait and see. I do agree with you, but it was just win at all costs at the end of the season. The football was rubbish, but we won, and who cares? And Marty got us to win, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have won. So everything goes to him, and that's all we wanted. So we can't be moaning about the football was rubbish to watch. They didn't look as if they had a style of play, etc., etc. That didn't matter. It was just 7 games to go, win the 7 of them, and he won the 7 of them. And regardless how we won them, we did it.
The football itself is low on my my priorities. I mean, you keep talking about last season being a does to watch. I kind of, the way it was going, I would have took anybody to get us on the line. I think getting us on the line, maybe in hindsight, will be no a great thing. But yeah. I'm coming from a very, very pessimistic place. As we've spoken about it in the past, Celtic FC broke me last season. Really, really did. The way they conducted themselves, the way they treated their support, the way they continue to treat their support. I'm broken with the club. Did I renew? Of course I renewed. No renewing would mean a big... We've often talked about this. Would take a big shift in what I do because it's a big part of my life. So if I stop going to the games, lots of things have got to get rejigged. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, people call it a cop-out and stuff like that. I'm I've lost a lot of the fire that I had. I have to. Hopefully, we get it back. Hopefully, something happens. Last season gives me no indication that we're going to get. I don't. I've got doubts we'll get the right players. I've got doubts they'll back them. I've got doubts there's going to be a feel good factor. I think the GB will get hammered in some way. But now the boys have said they'll get hammered in some way again. We'll do something to ruin it all again. I'm not going with a positive, right? But then I've got a negative at the end of this, so be prepared. Martin O'Neill knows what he likes. He knows what kind of football he likes, and he knows what kind. I'll tell you what. I was watching a Boglahor. He was on a podcast with Jolie Lescott. And I don't know, you've probably seen the wee clip where he was talking about his agent offered him Aberdeen, and he was like, look, when Aberdeen was, he's like, fuck that. You know what I mean? But he was talking about Martin O'Neill at Aston Villa, and he says he absolutely loved him. He came in and he backed him. He says, you're my guy. And he says, even when I was playing crap, Martin O'Neill would kind of put the arm around me. He's a good manager. If he gets what he wants, he's a good manager. I mean, Martin O'Neill lucked out, is that the right word when you say when you've got guys like a natural talent like Stilian Petrov there, you had Lubo kind of coming back into it, and obviously the King was there the first time, but he was up against a right good Hun team. So Martin O'Neill deserves every bit of fucking credit and kudos he'll ever get. But the fact is, we're pining, this whole club is pining for a structure at every level. Behind the scenes, on the pitch, the coach, the youth team, everything needs rejigged. And I just don't think this should be. We've dealt the Huns and Hearts a massive blow by getting this on the line. This would have been a good year to kind of try and rebuild something that would allow us a legacy. But I think Jason says it or Joe says it right for the off. Kicking the can down the road, and I feel that a year down the line, I'm not particularly interested in XG and stuff like that, to be honest. However, that is what football's all about. That's what it's all about. And to come out and dismiss it, I just think maybe no. I mean, like I'm asking you, is it even been sorted on the Celtic website? I mean, we're all presuming that Fozzie's got a role in this. I mean, you never know. He might be out the door, and we might have some other plan. Do you know what I mean? I think we're taking a fair bit for granted, but
Scott, the comments you raised, right? They're not negative. They're all realistic. They're all genuine concerns and all valid concerns there. But we keep fucking breaking our fucking hearts and our heads trying to see where's the solution to all these things. But as long as that cunt's got the majority voice and got the say on these decisions, then it's hard to see how much is going to change fundamentally. So I think you just got to get the head down and just see what happens with it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, we should be singing for the rooftops, because you imagine we were sitting here discussing it and Robbie Keane had been announced. It'd be fucking...
Exactly.
I know, think about
it. I'm sure we all feel the same. You didn't have the fucking heart or the energy for another fucking months of unrest, do you know what I mean? Between the fans and the club and the board and everything.
I mean, so, we don't really want to get into this, but I think it's worthwhile touching it. So, pals of mine who are very much go to the game, go home. You know what I mean? They're not really interested in fucking being just want Celtic to win and that's it. And they're going, get Robbie Keane in, and if he wins, if he goes 10 games in the bounce winning, then everybody, even you'll be back on board. And I'm kind of going, nah, I think this one's beyond that, to be honest. But ultimately, it's correct, isn't it? You'll have 80%. I mean, I go back to the Kenny Miller thing, right? We all laugh about it. I refuse to celebrate Kenny Miller's goals. I refuse to. And I get into an argument. Ask Marty Flynn about being up in Aberdeen. Man, we nearly get battered off a big group because fucking Kenny Miller. So I can't be bothered with that shit. And that was when I was younger and I had a bit of fucking fight in me. Do you know what I mean? See, that Robbie Keane, it's unbearable to think of, because I think there is. Celtic might have thought fighting the Ultras would have split the support, but I think bringing Robbie Keane in would have been a bigger, much more divisive. I do agree that the vast majority would have sucked up and went, this is what we've got, let's just go on with it. Whereas, but I think there will be, especially with the ongoing Palestine thing, you know what I mean?
I mean, there's also an element of like, I'd like to credit them with the sensibility to say we've already made one massive fuck up appointing a guy. Let's not make another massive fuck up in a different way, appointing fucking another guy. Let's just try and fucking, keep things steady. Instead of
the thing about Robbie Keane was, so I had a wee look at it when we first looked at it. So Robbie Keane, obviously, he went on to Israel and he took the job and he won them a league. So, as you say, the biggest club in Israel, and he won them a league. I think he won them a double, and then he kind of left and he got to Ferencváros job, and he won the league with him. But
they were on 5 in a row at the time when he took over, weren't they?
Right, but
6 in a row.
The thing that caught everybody's, because remember he was linked with Tottenham, should Tottenham have been relegated? That was a big thing. Had Tottenham been relegated, he was kind of talked up being a Spurs legend and all that part. And it was he took Ferencváros into the quarterfinals of the
last 16.
Right, all right, last 16. Now, great. I mean that's what he was selling himself on. Because I mean, if I said to you, by the way, we should go and get the Ferencváros manager, he's won 3 in a row, you're like, fuck off. You know what I mean? So obviously, former player, the European run, but if you go and look at it, I think it was Dejan Stankovic was the manager before him, and he took the team to the pretty much around this. So basically, he was playing with his team. You know what I mean? I agree with you. Had he not been Irish, had he not been Dermot Desmond's pal, he's I don't think he's even spoken about.
No,
the Celtic job.
It's just a fucking scandal.
But it's so frustrating because we have got this wealth in the bank, right? And I understand you can't just go and piss it up against a wall because you'll end up in bother soon. But that should afford you a wee bit of comfort and a wee bit of what's the word? Ambition. And a pal of mine was asking, who will you go with? And I say to him, well, as you guys well know, I watch the Bundesliga more than any other league outside Scotland. And there was 2 guys that came to my mind straight away. Now, there's 3, in fact, but one of them's kind of totally off the table, right? So the Stuttgart manager, I wanted him for the fucking Borussia Dortmund manager, Hoeneß. But there's 2 guys. There's a guy at Freiburg and there's a guy at Hoffenheim. And Hoffenheim, no matter how well they've been doing recently, they're a small club, very, very small club. I mean, I think their stadium's bigger than their fucking Hoffenheim itself. Do you know what I mean? So the boy's name, he's an Austrian manager, Christian Ilzer, I think Ilzer. And 48-year-old. And I don't see why we can't go him. He's no get big bags of win under him. I mean, no, I'll Google him and tell you what he's won, because I'm pretty sure he won in Austria. So he won the Bundesliga in Austria and he won the Austrian Cup twice with Sturm Graz. And then the Freiburg manager, Julian Schuster. Now, Julian Schuster, I'm led to believe, earns about 800 grand a year. So it's not something we couldn't have got. He's, let me again give me 2 seconds till I Google him, and we'll he's 41-year-old. He's somebody you can build around. Now, I think these guys will end up at bigger clubs sooner rather than later, But this is where we've kind of got to go in the train, innit? We can't go and get Marco Rosa once he gets sacked for Borussia Dortmund because he's out your game, he's out your level, unless he fails massively. So we've kind of got to get these guys on the up. And I just think there's loads of people out there that would fit our... Julian Schuster, I mean, you go and look at much Freiburg's actually spent all the last fucking couple of seasons. It would be more than Celtic, but it's... And they took him to Europe, the conference final and stuff like that. I know they got doing, but it's just that would show a wee bit of ambition. And it's just...
And you're looking at a guy with a provincial team in Germany holding their own in the Bundesliga against some of the best teams in the world. You know, surely that's got to give you kudos. And as you say, he'll not be earning fortunes. And if some of the big German teams in it, if you say to him, come to us, you're going to get a crack at the Champions League.
Yeah.
You've got the gateway to the Premiership there or not.
But there's that, yeah. I mean, you've got that St. Pauli boy, went down to Brighton, and I mean,
Ariola, when he was with Real Vallecano, you could have got him to Real Vallecano.
I mean, but that's kind of where I'm coming from it, because you've missed the boat with these guys straight away because you've no kind of looked out and about. I mean, I just never understood the point in spending £3 million on Brendan Rodgers if you were never going to really back him. There was no real point, was there? You know what I mean?
Even worse when he came back, Scott.
The way he came back is wild, aye.
Yeah, why are you coming back without some massive assurances that you're going to get proper money to spend? Wild. I mean,
sorry, Liam. See, the first time I saw somebody in the huddle talking about it, it's a great point. I'd convinced myself that Brendan Rodgers came into Celtic and he spent a wad of dough and he got all your squad playing and we were brilliant for 3 seasons. But you go and look at what Brendan Rodgers spent when he first came in the door. I mean, I think he got Dembele for £1. I think he got Sinclair for what, 2.5, 3 million?
Yeah. Dembele was $500,000.
You know what I mean?
Dembele was falling on that fucking on the fucking that kind of transfer, fucking that low wage thing for young players, wasn't he?
It's just a...
See, to be honest with you, but would you have trusted Brendan Rodgers with all the dough?
No, but at that point, Jason, we didn't really know. Yeah, I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but the fact is, you've got this manager that the fans come out for the first time since Martin O'Neill. See when he was appointed, the fucking...
I was there, 10,000
exactly.
there.
So you think about that. So give that guy the support he needs. Within a year, he was moaning about no getting back. It's wild. Ange was only in the door and he was talking about Celtic being slow. And we've never listened to that and went, by the way, why don't we do this better? I mean,
Sorry, Scott, carry on. I'll come back.
No, I just made a noise.
But the thing is, right, so see the way they want to play, because obviously we'd heard the Tisdale model, the Nancy, how he worked all these figures out, and that's how Celtic were buying into him because it was like making them money. This vision about, you know, you spend money back, your budget and all this kind of pish. But the thing is,
you was taking ginger bottles back that country.
You look at Jens Bertalascu, you had a guy in your fucking doorstep there that proved what you can do in a shoestring budget, and they didn't even fucking get him.
How see with hindsight, how mental is that Bertalascu thing?
It's fucking criminal.
That is, isn't it?
Criminal. See, when I heard it went to Toulouse, I was fucking devastated. Like, that is an open goal. An absolute open goal. And we didn't take it.
It's going to be really interesting to see whether he goes right to the top or just disappears off the face of the earth. You know, and it's either or in it with these sort of guys. Just one thing I wanted to bring in, or two things. One on the Rodgers thing. You know, we're all pretty critical of his transfer signings, but it's going to be interesting to see what we end up getting back off Engels and to a lesser degree Trusty, because Engels looks a stick on for 20 million plus now, doesn't he? Yeah, wherever he ends up.
Liam, anybody that kind of says, like, I get people don't really rate him here and there, and I mean, there was times last season when I was kind of going, I think I've backed a donkey here. I think it was Falkirk away, and we were like, second row, and our centre halves are good. Remember the one? I think what was the score? Negrin scored for us. Was it 1-0?
Aye,
1-0, yeah.
1-0. So I was like 2 rows in front, and the centre halves had the ball, and Negrin and Hattati were just stoning behind their midfielder. No showing, no offering. And I was going, oh, and that was the day I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy is pony, do you know what I mean? Maybe this is. But obviously, he finished the season with aplomb, but you're putting his name into fucking these fucking James, all these analytics, and he'll be ticking every box, won't he? Just with the terms of his height, terms of his possession, terms of his passing and stuff like that. He'll be. I mean, the only thing that goes against him is a goal scoring, isn't it? Really.
But see, when you think about him, like, I know he's a different player, but you think about O'Reilly or even Petrov back in the day, like, he's a fucking mile. He's a mile.
Not in the same class.
I know. It's mad. It's mad, really.
The thing is,
it's all potential with him, innit?
Yeah.
Aye, but you're signing him for 10 million, and he's Belgian, right? Central European sort of thing, and it's like it's not really a big surprise. They've got a good pedigree, good players, and he's not getting international caps at the minute, but I'm pretty sure they'll come. But he's a sure on the ball. He's a good player. He's not amazing, but that's what these teams are looking for in the Premiership. Do you know what I mean? And they're looking at a lot of Belgian players have succeeded in the Premiership. They've got a right good strike record there. The top ones, anyway.
You've poked me. Remind me to bring up Dyson later because we were having a discussion about him during the Champions League final. But on that same point, that what Premiership teams and what levels are looking for what type of players. Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is, if Nottingham Forest are looking to kick on and improve their possession and stuff like that, then he's the kind of guy you're looking for. Whereas if Dyson is going to go to the English Premiership, I don't think he's top 10. You know what I mean?
Just quickly, because I know you want to cover quite a bit on the season and whatever. The other thing about O'Neill is the Champions League opportunity this year is going to be the last one for a pretty long time by the look of it. Next season, I'll listen to Hamish again, and next season I think it's 3 qualifiers for the league winners to get into the Champions League. Second place has got 3 qualifiers to get into the Conference League.
The Conference, not even the Europa League.
No, the Conference League.
Conference.
So we don't have any representation in the Europa League this
I'm
year.
assuming it's a Scottish Cup winners.
No, Scottish Cup goes into Europa.
Yeah, that's it. So
that's the same as this season. I mean, like, if I'm pretty certain first and second get into the Champions League this season, third goes into Europa. But because we won the cup, the Huns get the Europa place, huh?
Exactly, yeah. They would have been the conference. So imagine.
So next year, so basically, this season, it's more valuable to win the Scottish Cup than it is to finish second in the league.
Yeah, by a mile.
Yeah. In terms of Europe, aye.
Well, there's a lot of money involved in that.
Imagine losing the league on goal difference or something this season, and then landing up in the Conference League. Well, playing 3 qualifiers to get in the Conference League. Imagine the nick of the teams you're going to be playing in that first qualifier. in June, probably.
The more. We're piping up for a game.
I'm getting fucking beat with them.
Yeah. It's wild, man. So, again, O'Neill, safe pair of hands. This is probably the last chance to get a grab at that money for a while. Although our coefficient, our individual one will go up if we have a decent season, because I think we've got 1 or 2 shitty seasons to come off at the back now moving forward. But anyway, I just wanted to make that point because it's wild for the season after.
So see, sorry to labour it, but see next season, right? Say for instance we do win the league. See your 3 qualifiers. Would one of them be like a top 5 nation, or would it?
No.
It'd still be the champions.
Still be in the champion route. Yeah, so it would be winnable games, Jason.
So you're still looking to qualify.
You're still looking to qualify, but what what we want to do, right? And the thing is, getting the Champions League obviously doesn't really afford you that unless we get it bang on the button this year. Is we really want to improve our coefficient. We really need to we need to improve our coefficient because you're winning the league and you're in the fucking bottom, you're in the third qualifier. But see if your coefficient's good, there's a chance you fucking jump or every cunt and get straight in. You know what I mean? Like Olympiacos done last year, maybe the Huns were going to do this year. Should they win it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
but Celtic decided Europe didn't matter fuck last season.
but
we'll come to that in the season review.
That's the bit I hold against Brendan Rodgers. But the board as well. But at the end of the day, I would have been able to manage that Celtic team to beat Kyra.
Well, do you know, we'll come to it in a minute, but we'll come to it in a bit. But I'd forgotten about that penalty shootout and Miaida's penalty in particular, but we'll pause that thought. Come back to that until I saw it the other day on some compilation.
I think as well, but I think that goes
running through.
I think the start of the season as well goes back to the fact that they'd obviously promised Dyson that he could go.
Yeah.
Well, without a doubt.
You know what I mean? And you've got guys there that don't want to be there. And
without a doubt. And
all things are total malaise.
And again, we'll go into it in a lot more detail next week or whenever, right? But the fact is, Brendan Rodgers, bit by bit, killed his team's morale.
Yep.
But the madness of watching Neil Lennon do it, the COVID season, when he came out and ripped into them after that, or the Ferencváros game, and he killed them stone dead. And then for Brendan Rodgers to sit and be a prick constantly. Now, should he have been a prick? Probably. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's a discussion for a different day. I think time will turn out to be good on Brendan Rodgers with that. But as you say, Dyson didn't look like a fucking Celtic player at that point. You know what I mean?
The one he's clean through as well. The one he's clean through as well.
I think in both legs he had a
He did.
Cup final against Aberdeen before that, and the Rangers game. There was a bit of a theme, wasn't there, going for a while?
But
shit.
So I mean, what we did. So Scott, you were on the own. You didn't geezer. We're obviously rewinding. You didn't give us your Hearts story. What happened that day? How you felt?
Mine wasn't exciting. I had a communion straight after the game. So I was.
That's right. You mentioned that before.
I had a communion straight for it. So my missus was driving. Went to the game. Obviously, it's what brilliant day. As right, you guys will say. Everything's went right, and the fucking scenes you'll fucking never forget in your life, you know what I mean? And then it was a case of, see, as soon as we got the trophy and we kind of came round to the Celtic end first, as soon as they turned the corner, boom, we were off, running down the road. But we went to the communion, it was in the Alona in Straffy Park. Right. And God bless them, they stuck on a big wad of dough behind the bar and all, so we get rattled, we done a fair bit of damage, but brilliant, mate. Just
how were you? But obviously, if you don't want to get into detail, but how were you? See, once Dyson goal get given, how was your nerves between then and we get the third goal?
God, I'll tell you what, I fucking can't even remember now, man. Fucking hell.
Really? I'll never forget how nervous I was.
No, I mean, I think do you know what? I can't remember. I really can't remember. I just, because obviously the Osmond running through, because as soon as it bounced off in an actual, as soon as it bounced in, I've just started jumping up and down, and the guy beside me is kind of, I don't know if he's kind of going, what the fuck is happening? I don't know if he's clocked the goalies up or what, but I'm kind of going, that's it. So, but, just...
See, to be honest with you, see, cause I know it sounds a bit daft, but see, because you had a communion after it, your mind wouldn't have been fully on the game, because you'd have been thinking how we get out of here and we've got this to go to and stuff like that. Just life in general takes over sometimes.
I don't know, man. It's just because, obviously, it was magnificent. I mean, like I remember no being, maybe because I took a wee drink or kind of a wee couple of strong things. I remember no being. Obviously, you're disappointed and frustrated when they scored, but I thought we were better than we were in the first half. See, when I've watched it back, we were fucking garbage in the first half. Absolutely.
So bad. We were so bad. That was as bad as it was all season. That first
I don't know why, Liam, but I felt comfortable. I don't know. And I never realised, and another thing, I never realised how late we scored Dyson's goal was. Because see, I think it was maybe because we knew we were adding another 10 minutes on. You know what I mean? We knew that was coming. And I don't know. I just seemed a wee bit more comfortable. I don't know if I don't know, man. It just seems mad.
Were you sober? Is that what it was?
I wasn't sober, like, but I wasn't blotto, but I wasn't like so. So I must have had like 3 beers before, and then I had a couple of wee cocktail cans. So I wasn't, but obviously, it's hard to remember now because so much has happened since. You know what I mean? Sorry, what did you say there about?
I said that's very sober by your standards for a game.
Oh, aye. I have to get back and watch the games, my fucking standards. You know what I mean? Who did we beat? So I don't know. It's all about hazy now.
Well, was the communion good crack then? Was it mostly Tim's? I assume it was all Tim's. Communion.
Aye. And it was cracking. Do you know what I mean? It was brilliant. And then we left there and we went back to her sister's house and we had another party till fucking 4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know how I remember that. I can't really remember the game, but good times. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah, live.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But I don't know. I wish it was on at the time now to fucking when things were all fresh. Because as I say, it just seems hard. I've been honest to God. See, when the cup final finished, man, I was delighted the season was done. And see if we were in any way in a good shape, I wouldn't be on the night. I'd have switched off. I'd have been fucking done. But we're in such a kind of state of disrepair now, and we need so much to happen. Maybe it's going to be exciting. Maybe we're going to see a whole load of players in. But I remember every time I think that. And I mean, like, as I say to you, I started doing the research, and I'm looking at our transfer window for last summer. How fucking frustrating was that, man? It was just so.
That's one of our biggest frustrations, though, Scott, is we have fairly basic and practical needs and wants, and even those are too much. You know what I mean?
What's the last transfer that you were really excited about?
Last transfer?
Last player to come in that you were like, oof, this is a big one. Not even a big one, but this is a. We never knew anything about Kyogo or Maeda or any of them boys. Carter Vickers, Jota, first time, didn't know anything about him really. I'm trying to think.
If you're talking about no when we signed them was a buzzing, right? Probably the last one was Grabson. I thought he'd have been fucking unbelievable, but that's fucking years ago. But I'm talking about once they started playing, and you're laughing at this was Deneke. See, didn't come on. I'm like, what the fucking player we've got here?
I mean, there's a bit here, I suppose, when you re-sign Jota and you re-sign
aye.
They're big.
Jota, when we re-signed them, I'd agree with that.
That's what I mean. Someone first time that's got a bit of pedigree in front of
You're right, Liam. It's been a while since it's been like, look who we got.
You know, but Liam, see if you actually think of that. In my lifetime supporting Celtic, who have we signed with a bit of pedigree that I've been buzzing about? I don't really think I've ever, because let's face it, Sutton, Hartson,
Dale Dublin.
Did you just say Ian Wright? Dale Berkovich.
Just naming random guns.
But aye, so Liam, I think it's a bit of a shit question. No disrespect. but
Fuck you, Liam. You've cheered me up, but that's a shit question.
But see, when you're going about pedigree, who have Celtic ever signed?
Not even pedigree,
global
right?
Pedigree.
AT.
Not the first time, but he said first time.
Like not even pedigree, but someone you've seen some videos of them, or what you've seen something to say, right? This player looks the fucking business here. That's coming in.
Well, that boy Balak Wisham will be chasing for 18 months. He's going to be good.
Every player, when you fucking watch YouTube videos, you're like buzzing.
I mean, Aaron Moy was a good player, but I don't know that you thought he was going to be as good as he was when he came into it.
But you look at all the greats that signed. Aye, Janino.
Well, Janino, there's Ljungberg. Remember Ljungberg?
No. But see what you say about that YouTube. Watching a YouTube really is the online definition of fool me once, isn't it?
Oh, I know. So back to your point, I stand by it. Thomas Grafson, probably that's it.
Aye, you're saying it for Real Madrid.
Aye.
Kenny Miller.
Fuck yourself. I was impressed when we signed Arnie Engels, but again, did I know too much about him? Nah, I knew who he was.
He looked really
What's that?
His first couple of games, he looked excellent.
Oh no, but I knew who he was. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a case of he was walking in the door. I'm going through the last few year signings.
I'm trying to think. Right, here's another question, right? Different to that. Who are the players that we didn't sign that you kind of went bastard, and they turned out exactly? That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Who?
They turned out to be the golden ticket. John McGinn. John McGinn's top of that tree. The players
Paul
we didn't sign.
Paul McGrath is top of the tree.
Oh, I don't think we're over him from, were we? Desmond
I was nearly signed, mate.
Yeah, Gary Gillespie instead, I think.
According to the story in his book, and I'm paraphrasing this because I can't. It's been a long time since I read it.
I know.
So,
I'll tell you.
He was.
Carry on. I remember it.
Will you fucking tell it then? Fuck's sake.
I was going to validate your story there for you, Scott.
He knows the book verbatim.
No, I'm not being. I'm just saying. If you remember the story, do tell it.
Well, he wasn't playing at all, was he, for Man United? And then he'd spoke to Celtic, and the whole thing was agreed. Yeah. And then I think United had a couple of players injured, and he had to come in and play one game before he went. And being Paul McGrath, he was fucking majestic and man of the match, head and shoulders. And then Ferguson was like, "No, he's going nowhere."
Right? No, that's no right, because it was Ron Atkinson.
Was it?
Yeah, I definitely Ron Atkinson, and I thought it was Aston Villa.
No, because he ended up going to Villa when he stayed at Man United for a bit. He went to Villa from Man United. He was coming to Celtic earlier than that.
I have a dead skip on this. Fucking
elephant
memory.
I'd be back in Rain Man here.
I watched every game he played for Villa, more or less, at home.
The one that got away, Ivan De La Peña. Little Buddha. Mind him?
I do recall him. Butler's in the chat saying Rivaldo. Was that real?
Yeah. We asked Rivaldo to come and trial.
That's right. It was roughly about the same time with De La Peña.
Yeah, same too.
Classic Celtic. Classic
Danny as well.
If you want to come and show us what you've got, son.
Yeah. Seamus Coleman. You got Niall McGinn instead, didn't we, I think?
Dmitry Radchenko. Remember that one?
No.
He was. I can't mind who he was for, but Tommy Burns was linked with him for like $2 million, and it was in the back of the Daily Record. I'm going to come for the Celtic. I'm going to score a hat trick my first game. We're going to win all the cups and we'll batter Rangers for the league. I fell in love with this guy. I was like, this guy's going to win us everything. And obviously he never signed.
How close were we to signing Ginola?
That's right,
Kicking the boys, would we know?
I thought it was pretty close back then.
Am I wrong in thinking we were like
Right. Wait a minute.
No.
I'm going to quote you. In 1991, quite honestly, when I got there, I thought if there's going to be a problem, let's get out of the way before we start. I actually offered him on the market and offered him to Liam Brady at Celtic. If Liam Brady had come up with $1.5 million, I would let him go, and Liam was prepared to go to 750,000. So I went, no. It was the luckiest escape I had. Now, he tells the same story in his book. I'm certain of this. That he says, because he was back drinking because he was at Aston Villa, and he said he'd set himself up. Liam Brady was going to bring him up, and he'd set him, he'd done it. I was gone. And then he's used what you said. He says, we're missing a couple of bodies, and I said, you come in and play these games, and he says he went in and strolled them because he was so calm. He had no pressures. He was like, I'm going to go to Glasgow, I'm going to have a different life and all that. And Ron Atkinson changed his mind. So that's how I remember it. But as you say, Liam, you're a bit more connected than I was.
Ron Atkinson was manager of Villa and Man United, so maybe that's where the confusion is then. I thought it was from Man United, I was sure, because he was brilliant at Villa the whole time.
Well, only one is can be right.
Yeah. The one I always laugh at was that. I don't know.
And Jason's took your back because he thinks I'm a dick. So fuck you.
Sorry, Liam, you fucking let me down. You've let me down big time. Fucking hell, elephant ears there. Fucking, you know.
By the way, that's been proven right. Yeah,
exactly.
By the way, there was one that's slightly off topic. Right? There was one I fucking always laugh at. Everton. It was the 94-95 season, I think. And fucking they were signing a Brazilian, a guy, Muller. I'm sure his name was Muller, Lewis Muller. He'd 50 Brazilian caps or something.
Yep.
And they'd fucking... So they'd go to fucking... He's in fucking Siren at Goodness in the parade and all that. Then the boy found out you to pay income tax in the UK. You get his fucking advisor says, cut you out of here. See when they get his net paid in. You know, he says, like, this is what you'll be getting every week. Fucking 50 grand.
I remember him,
aye, you get 50 grand, and he's like, aye, and then they're like, but he says, so how much money do I get in my bank? They're like, 25. no.
In my memory, Jason, it was just Muller.
Muller, that's right, aye.
Just Muller, aye.
Muller, aye.
Right, so there's a post with 2007 on the Kerrydale Street, right, and the guy's posted, reading McGrath's book, excellent read. He's at Villa 1991, but an alcoholic, taking the tranquilizers, knee shot, one slit wrist attempt the season before. Sounds perfect for the Hun, but in the previous season with all this going, he was Villa's player of the year. Brady bids 750 grand. Atkinson says he wants $1 million and prepared to let him go. In the pre-season tour of Germany, he has to have his money removed to stop him disappearing into town for a drink. Turns up for an indoor head tennis game, twisted with studs on, falling all over the shop, and he's taken off after 10 minutes in one game because he went to take a free kick and missed the ball. McGrath says he's delighted. It's his dream to play for Celtic and he can't wait. The mistake he made was he was man of the match in the next 3 games. Atkinson turns down Brady. McGrath goes on to be the PFA Player of the Year.
There you go, Scott. Well done. A lot of digging for that, but well done.
Yeah, I've never been right on fucking my life, and you said I'd be right, so fuck you.
Fucking chip on your shoulder for that one.
The three-legged horse for Rutherglen there. Fucking hell.
You can frame this one.
Well, that's the only one I've got, so I fucking can't frame any others.
Clip it.
I'm going through. I'm going through the season's transfers, by the way. Aye. Diego Laxalt, did you get mentioned?
Diego Laxalt, for that God.
Oh, man.
Was there one point we were in for Sergei Rebrov? Remember him?
No.
I don't think we were in for him, but I don't know.
Joe, you brought up Ian Wright earlier, and now that way we've always got the fucking somewhat delusions of grandeur about what we can do. But at that point, we were spending decent dough, and the King broke his leg, and and Rebrov had been Shevchenko's partner at Dynamo Kiev, and the two of them had like a fucking... Obviously, Shevchenko's the fucking man, because Rebrov went to Spurs and done nothing, really. But the two of them were, and I remember us going, Celtic should go and get him to replace Henrik. And see, and my mate was like, "What? Henrik comes back, what you got to do?" And I was like, "Well, if this guy's scoring goal and Henrik's on the bench, then I think we've done all right." Do you know what I mean? If he's better than Henrik, but we ended up getting Ian Wright, and I was really pissed off.
Aye. He was a smashing player, right, bro?
See when Ian Wright come to Celtic, I can't remember. Was he finished at Arsenal before that? Was he done?
Oh, aye. It was, I think we got him from, I want to say Nottingham Forest.
Right. Okay.
I think he either came from Nottingham Forest and went to West Ham, or came from West Ham and went to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
I know it was West Ham.
West Ham's ringing a bell now. You said that.
He was on loan at Forest. We got him from his loan spell at Forest, but he was with West Ham.
So he was waiting. Aye, so it was totally right. Brilliant.
And yeah, what did he call us? Reptiles? Fucking cunt.
I think did he not say that he Barnes get racially abused or something?
Aye, there was some shit going on. I remember it not being a good
Hey,
time.
I'll tell you,
I remember him scoring some decent goals and him kind of bringing a bit of fucking, a bit of levity to the place because, it was a struggle. But
aye.
I think it ended pretty ugly.
That wee Jobby Berkovic scored at Ibrox and they were doing chicken tonight.
Chicken tonight, fucking that was embarrassing.
Right, to go back, do you remember your question about who have you been excited about his signing when we first signed him? Odsonne Edouard.
Yeah.
If you remember going back to it, I'd watched I think it was under 17. I watched the whole tournament, and he scored a hat trick in the final. And it was just one of the guys that I remember watching the game, and I was like, we'd never ever get a player like him. You know what I mean? Never. And I remember when we signed him in loan, I was like, fucking hell.
I remember you going on about this at the time, saying like this guy's fucking dead, because I think I seen his first goal. His first goal was away at Hamilton.
Yes, that's correct.
I was at that game. I think I got the ticket off your Joe actually in Kerry O'Shea's that day, at that afternoon. Jason, if I recall correctly, he was DJing that day, and that's a good shout. I remember because you definitely been fucking spouting about it beforehand.
But I'll tell you, I'm watching under 17. I only watched the highlights of the tournament this year, and in France are playing. No, France get beat in the semi-final after Belgium. They're playing in Belgium. Are playing Italy in the final. No, it's really surprised me the amount of headed goals in it. I mean, the fit was no been great. There's no been like dropping the shoulder, pulling people out of possession and all that. It is very much fucking get out to the wings, put the ball in the box. And the amount of headed goals by these young guys, I don't know if fit was turning a bit. Maybe Martin O'Neill's fucking revolutionary.
I know.
Here's what I never thought about. Craig Bellamy was a fucking signing. I was
yes.
like,
Yes.
Loan signings. Aye, that's different.
You know what this is?
Nobody told me the fucking stipulations.
Aye, sorry. By the way, was there no some stat that Arsenal scored 40% of their goals this season by set plays?
No surprise,
You don't see that? Aye, fucking it was something mad, like massive. Like I'm sure it was 40% of their goals came to set plays.
To go on another huge big tangent, I wonder what will happen in the English Premiership next year. I can't believe that Arsenal are going to set up the same way. Surely they'll become a wee bit more expressive, but you wonder what will happen with Guardiola and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Now that he's away, and Maresca is going to, will they get that downturn? Because the thing is, though, I mean, like England have got to the last two tournaments finals. Is that correct? Obviously, they won at the World Cup. The last Euros, was it? Final?
Euros,
yeah.
Italy, yeah.
And Gareth Southgate's team were very much built on corners and free kicks, So I don't know what my point is, so fuck up.
I'm struggling to fucking connect with that, sir. So
I suppose, going back to the transfer thing, I suppose, ironically, Chamberlain and Iniacho got pretty decent pedigrees. Premier winner.
Oh, definitely pedigrees, but I think we're a wee bit long in the tooth in terms of. I mean, what we just mentioned there, Ian Wright. That was a different generation, but Ian Wright didn't really do anything. Freddie Lundberg was an absolute waste of time. Janino was a waste of time. We've never really had that Frank Swozey. Oh, Aaron Moy, I suppose. But what age was he? He was like fucking
30, he was 32.
See, to be honest with you, I'd never heard of him before he came to us.
Oh, no. Still love his song, though.
I'd heard him, like, the odd, you know, but I'd never watched him play or whatever like that, but he was outstanding. Aye.
That was a good tune. I mean, has there been like somebody, I mentioned Frank Swozey, has there somebody that's come in and had that kind of impact for Celtic at an older age? Lubo.
Oh, definitely. The best of the best.
Yeah.
And even with my sight knack, Joe Hart was great. Schmeichel was great at the start. Oh, to be honest with you, although he thumbed it fucking. I
was having an argument about that people will talk about Sinisalo, whether he's the kind of future of Celtic. Because I don't think, I mean, obviously it was a vast improvement on Schmeichel this season, but was he fucking great? What was it? See that, was it the semi-final? It was rough, man. Was it semi-final? I can't remember fuck all. But he's, but I made the point that I thought Schmeichel in his first season was a better keeper than Joe Hart in his last season.
Aye.
And I think he was a better player for Celtic overall than Sinisalo at his prime, at his best. But
what about Andy Tom?
What?
Was he not 30 when he came to us?
I could be wrong. I don't think so, because we spent fucking $2.5 million on him when we spent like fucking tuppence halfpenny on fucking people.
I thought he was at an advanced age when he came to us.
I think he left when he was 32 or something, and he was at Celtic for, I don't know, right? So, born in 65. So he was 30. Aye, fuck me, Joe, you were right. There you go. I would never have knew that. I'm done.
But he was one of those lads that looked 40 at 17, I'd say.
But were you saying Scott about Sinisalo, the semis, he wasn't good? I thought it was
it a semi-final? There was a game where I thought he was.
I like him.
I don't dislike him, Jason. I'm just saying. No, we were sitting talking about that. There's vitriol about Schmeichel, and I understand it. I totally understand where the vitriol's coming.
I fucking can't stand the cunt.
Exactly, but I think people forget he was a good keeper for Celtic last season.
He was, but at the end of the day, he conned us. And
I get that, but I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about him as a keeper.
No, fine, but that's another thing about Martin O'Neill for me that pisses me off. He fucking let that happen in his watch, and your fucking Stevie Woods and all the rest of the coaches. I mean, everybody else could see the guy was totally fucked.
Yeah.
It was a fucking scandal. I mean, they let him play for 6, 7, 8 weeks, maybe even longer, with fucking one arm. It's fucking ridiculous. And you say to yourself, how? I mean, it's kind of hard to say with O'Neill, right? Because O'Neill's record, his win record, was unbelievable. The points accumulated on both spells last season was fucking out of this world. So you can't really hold it as a stick to beat him, but I think, I don't know where I'm going here, because I'm kind of, how many games under O'Neill did we drop points in both spells? I don't think it was that many.
No.
Nah. So I'm fucking probably arguing against myself here.
See, to be honest, you were talking about who did we miss out on? Do you remember? I'd say it was under Tommy Burns. So 1994, Celtic had a guy on trial for the Netherlands called Hans van Arum. Remember him?
No.
Do you remember him? No.
No.
Celtic had him on trial. Hans van Arum, and I thought it was brilliant. Because that was back then, we didn't have many foreigners. I mean, I think we had Rudy Vata. And we had I think it was around the same time we signed the 2 clowns for the army. But we had 3 Nigerian boys on loan and a whole bunch of Argentinians on trial, sorry. Hans Van Aram, I'm going to have to look this up.
That's fun. But aye, if you look back, Liam, see Celtic's like full history, we've never really I don't know.
Never really blown doors off at the same, have we?
But when you go back to when I was a kid, when we signed Brian McClair, you know, guys like that, you were absolutely buzzing with that. When we signed Frank McAvenny, you know, there was guys in that era, you know, but they were quality players. Fucking, dare I say it, the man who shall not be named. Fucking, they signed him. You know, these guys were outstanding, and they came. But they were Scottish players. I mind when they signed Joe Miller for Aberdeen, I was fucking buzzing.
Aye, Man United were after him now, weren't they?
Aye. So you go back then, but then when money started taking over the game, and we were kind of, you rightly said Sutton, that was a quality signing, you know, and that was big money for us. And you
Scott
know,
Brown.
I would class Scott Brown in that.
Scott Brown because you've snatched him for the Huns, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was kind of a long-term want from everybody at that point, at least for the half the season before.
See, to be fair, see after the first season, I would have swapped him for Kevin Thompson.
Aye.
See after the first season, aye.
I would have chose Kevin Thompson before he signed. I liked Kevin Thompson much more.
I mean, it's funny because I watch his show with Mulgrew, and I'll be honest, I like Kevin Thompson. I mean, he's very fair for somebody that played with the Huns, you know what I mean? But Joe's saying it was kind of a want. As I remember, I thought it was a done deal that Scott Brown was going, and I wanted us to get Thompson, and I wanted us to get the other boy as well. What was it, Whittaker?
Aye.
I wanted they too because I thought Scott Brown was shooting in to go to the Huns. I was delighted when we got Scott Brown, but do you remember there was a rumour? Well, I say there was a rumour. It was going to go to Newcastle, and it kind of disappeared. And do you remember I asked him when we done the press conference with him, and I asked him, was there ever a point you had a chance to leave? And he says, aye, Newcastle came in for me after one season. And I would like you, Jason, I'm totally underwhelmed with him. And if we could have got our money back, I'd have took it.
Aye, to start with, and what the fucking became a Celtic legend. Unbelievable.
I've gone back over 20 years trying to find someone, right? So I'm struggling. Colo Torre, obviously. Colo Torre, end of his career, but decent pedigree.
Oh, right, you're talking about that. Aye, good one. Aye.
What about Paul Lambert, Champions League winner, but in his
Paul
prime
Lambert,
still?
Aye, Paul Lambert buzzing. The big time.
Paul Lambert's a great one.
Big time.
Great one.
That would be my top fucking 3 or 4.
Yeah, because he was in his prime, wasn't he, when we signed him?
Aye,
we're lucky to get him that sort of price.
And what a player he became as well.
And Craig Burley we signed at the same time.
I was thinking that the other now, but aye, but
in Chelsea.
Yep.
I was going to say Nat Phillips, but I didn't want to kick that one off again.
I've said it before. The best pound for pound signing Celtic's ever made in their history is Tom Boyd for Chelsea. Fucking because we get rid of Cascarino as part of the deal. But what a signing Boyd was as well.
Tremendous. Well known was Di Canio when we signed him. Let's just say there we signed him from Milan.
There's another one. That was a big signing. That was a proper buzzing moment.
Yeah. Di Canio was different class because if you'd watched
as well, fucking hell, Lazio, fucking AC Milan, fucking
Napoli,
aye.
If you'd watched Juventus, if you'd watched Football Italia, which I presume the lawyers did, you would remember him scoring a goal where I think he went left and right about 3 or 4 times and fucked it in the top of the net. I think that might have been for Napoli. And he went and done the big lap round the running track, the jersey off and all that. But a pretty famous goal. I'll try to see if I can find it. But no, Di Canio's a good one. Di Canio is a good. I'll tell you who else was a big one. Just for his name, but he was. I don't know if it kind of showed that we were saying when we signed Venegura Hesselink. he was PSV tap banana, and we went fucking took him off him, which was wild. I remember being mega pumped when we got him. And then he scored a picture goal against Man United in the Ryan Giggs testimony. Would that be right? No. Against Man United in the
Champions League.
Champions League.
Yeah.
The Champions League. And I remember going, this boy's going to the top. He's fucking outstanding. And unfortunately, injuries seem to fucking hinder him.
Look at these transfers. Berkovic, nearly £9 million.
No, is that transfer market?
Transfer market, yeah.
No, Berkovic was 5.75.
Right, that's euros, but I mean, it's not. That's not that big a
No.
difference.
5.75. Say that again?
Jason's pal, Raphael Scheidt, 7.2 million euros.
No, Raphael Scheidt was definitely at
No,
5.
I don't think it was as much as that, was it?
No.
No, less. Nowhere near 7 million, Liam. Fucking hell, no chance.
No, I'm just looking at the transfer market, mate. That's what you're saying on there.
Oh, fuck, we weren't spending anywhere near that money in fucking players. No chance. It was a couple of million or something. Or fucking...
It's saying
Raphael
Berkovic,
Scheidt?
yeah.
I think Raphael Scheidt was 5 million.
What?
4.5, 5 million.
What's
What's that?
Of course, this is 7.2, but that's too
That
much.
was-
It definitely was 7.2.
No
Definitely not.
chance. No chance.
Because
That was the old board, was it? No.
who?
When did we sign Raphael Scheidt? What year?
Raphael Scheidt wasn't the old board. Raphael Scheidt was John Barnes and Kenny Dalglish.
99.
Oh, right, I saw it was.
And Alan McDonald. Alan McDonald spent a wad of dough under him.
No, but John Barnes, Kendall Reese was that? No, the old board.
What do you mean the old board that was fucking Alan McDonald was the fucking the old board was away. What old board are we talking about here, Jason?
Fucking hell, I'm
The
fucking.
old board left in fucking 94 or 93.
Fucking, I'm off my fucking heat.
As soon as Raphael Scheidt's name come up, you lose the plot, mate.
Aye, but Dalglish and all that press conferences in fucking Baird's Bar, no, though.
In 1999.
No, 99 was it, right?
Well, that'd have been 2000, in fact, because he took over in 2000.
He signed in 99, 2000 that season.
Hans van Aren was going to play in Ian Rush's testimonial, but couldn't get clearance. And we could beat 6-0 because he couldn't play.
Can I grab a beer?
Well, fucking Wikipedia saying 5 million. We're all doing the show up here. Am I still here? Liam. Okay, now just talking to myself here. Any comments for the chat since I've been left myself? Any questions? If anybody can hear me?
Sorry, mate, I was talking to one.
Fucking hell, man.
Where were we?
Every cunt just switched that up.
All right, sorry.
It's
sorry,
like,
mate.
it's like the Twilight Zone.
Aye, fucking hell. But we've not even spoke about the cup final. Fucking hell. Did you have a good day?
Cup final was great. Great.
Aye.
There was a comfort about it, wasn't there?
Oh.
I mean,
The
obviously
pressure was off. We could have lost that and I'd have still walked out smart.
I agree, and I think I thought we were all right. It was a good day out, do you know what I mean? And then actual again, fucking
Oh, his
What a
goal
guy.
was fucking
what a guy.
ballerina. But the thing is, you would give him another year all day long, wouldn't you?
The thing comes at 20. So we're talking about.
30.
Is he turned 30? Is he?
I'm not saying he's not even 30.
Nah. So we're talking about Andy Tom fucking 26 year 28 year ago, 29 year ago. About Andy Tom signing when he was 30, and 30 footballers were near fucking dead at 30. You know what I mean? And this boy's 29, and it just looks like we need to get him fit. That doesn't look like anything else. That doesn't look like any. He's got a buzz for it. I think what you would get though is a disappointment if Celtic don't go and get a proper striker after what we've been going through, because I mean it's kind of pish, isn't it? that we can't go and invest in a fucking proper striker.
Oh, fucking hell. I mean, I know they're not easy to come by, but there's surely guys, I mean, at the end of the day, I know that these, like your Jamestown, your analytics and that can fucking pull them out for whatever, but surely we did it before. When you look at when we get Gary Hooper, fucking guys like Anthony Stokes, fucking Lee Griffiths, you know, these guys were fucking lethal.
But there's nobody in Scottish football with Braga and Shanklin, eh? I mean, like, what other strike?
Do you know what? It's a funny thing, right? See, when you look at the World Cup, right? I'm not an expert in every team, right? But I know fucking the basics, and I've watched loads of football, right? Harry Kane's probably the only number 9 going to that World Cup. Do you know what I mean? Shanklin. Do you know? But it's you don't get number 9s anymore. It's like,
but again, what are we doing this summer? What is Martin O'Neill's plan of attack? Are we going to go back to a 4-4-2? Are we going to go back?
I don't think he will. I don't think it. Well, saying that, he might, because he's going to have to blow this team up and get a full new team.
Right. This is a perfect opportunity to talk about. So, Dyson Maida's leaving, right? And I know people. So we were talking about it slightly on the chat, and Harper's like, I'm fucking dead. I can't say I'm devastated by Dyson leaving.
I'm fucking
right.
I'm not really fucking.
But the reason I'm saying that is, right, Dyson leaves last summer. It's a massive blow, but you're probably club-wise, you're probably bringing in a lot more dough than you will this summer. But this year has proven that Dyson's limitations. Now, Dyson might. If I was watching Champions League final, and I said to the fella I was watching it with, I was like, so Dyson's going to leave, and Dyson's really important to us. Does Dyson even go on the bench for either one of these two teams? And you're like, maybe he goes on the bench, maybe, but he doesn't trouble the first team, because Arsenal's game was all about kind of trying to hold the ball and possession of football, not losing the ball and using your chances is mega, mega important to these big teams. And the way Dyson plays football, I said earlier, I don't think Dyson Maida's troubling a top 10 English Premiership team. And I don't think he's troubling a top 4 Bundesliga team. I think he's somebody who needs to break things down and kind of counter-attack kind of player.
See, Everton would be fucking amazing fit for him.
Yeah. There's my mid-table team, aye.
But fucking, like, they've got that. See, when I watch Everton, right, they've got that Beto up front, or that Barry. The two of them are fucking useless. They miss more chances than he does. See when you look at Dyes and he blasts them out the park and that, they do that fucking regularly. And you're saying they're fucking, and they've not got anywhere near the work ethic of him.
No.
They paid 30 million for both of them.
What's their kind of hold-up play like? Are they good with the ball, back to goal, ball to feet?
Beto's actually quite decent. See, holding the ball up, he's quite decent. But and Everton have got a decent fucking midfield. Moyes, at the end of the day, Moyes is a fucking guarantee fucking honestly. Honestly. You know my feeling. Everton should be fucking challenging for the fucking league. And I don't care what any cunt says. They're a massive club. And they're just... I mean, look at what Villa have proved what you can do. Everton and Villa, to me, I would say Everton's a bigger club than Villa. You'd probably say Villa's a bigger club than Everton. It's a fair argument with the two clubs. They're pretty similar size. The two of them are massive. But Everton are just massive.
What's big as West Ham?
Oh, don't get me fucking started. But it's a fucking scandal. I mean, they've not won a trophy since 1995, and Moyes has been manager for 13 years of that. Fucking, and cunts are still backing him. oh, he's a steady hand. You don't want a fucking steady hand. You want somebody. See when Ariola fucking left Bournemouth, they should have been right in and golden.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I've just
Fucking-
they've been through some fucking proven managers and it's still gone to fuck. I mean, Ancelotti, fucking
That's the only one, Joe.
no,
Come on.
you fucking Benitez.
Benitez.
Oh, no.
Get the
Why did you do it?
Benitez didn't win anything, no.
No, but he's fucking over the hill. He's like fucking.
What? Oh,
Mark-
man. What's that
Martin
making you
O'Neill sort of
manager?
thing. Fucking, well, you know my thoughts. That's
He won the Champions League, John.
I mean,
That was league.
aye. How many years ago?
I would just pull
See, when's the last time ever won it?
just
Aye. So what?
pull that fish hook out of your mouth there, sorry.
You were serious. And then they got a load of fucking journeymen. Koeman, fucking, you thought he'd have done all right. Fucking, I mean, the thing is, Celtic talking about getting Martinez. Thank fuck he's no coming either. A useless bastard. Fucking what? He won one FA Cup and get the team relegated in the same season. That's his fucking whack. He's fucking one of the luckiest managers in world football. But I mean, fucking. Just grossly mismanaged Everton for fucking years. Scandalous. Absolute scandalous. You know,
Can't believe you're
and that's-
comparing them to the current Europa League holders and Champions League participants, man.
Team, to be honest with you, I'm comparing them to a yo-yo team, Liam. You'd admit yourself.
I'm kidding you on, man. Kidding you on.
Fucking-
Very similar clubs, I would say. Very, very similar.
Aye, I would say size and stature, never about the two clubs. Aye, very, very similar. So, fucking, but Everton's just a fucking basket case. But anyway, we're not talking about them. Fucking whatever. Fucking worry about ourselves.
So well, we kind of went on the Maida tangent, but we were talking about what Martin was going to have to do, right? And maybe Liam, you're best talking on it, and I don't even think you are. Martin, when was Martin before he came back to Celtic? When was Martin O'Neill's last gig? Nottingham Forest. I think he was there for fucking 6 months or something.
Not even that. I don't think he was that long.
And then he was how many years out the game?
He did his bit with Ireland, didn't he? Was it Forest was after Ireland, wasn't it?
Might that been? I think it was. I think Forest. So Forest was his last gig.
Yeah, because did he not take Keane there for a little bit?
Right.
I think it was after. I think it was after.
Martin,
Ireland.
right. So his last gig was Nottingham Forest in 2019. So 6 years. Now, you can't really compare it with Ireland because Ireland is kind of got to pee with the coke he's got. But how was his football? Was it very much Celtic-esque in terms of big guys at the back, working hard in midfield, working hard on the wings, big powerful strikers up front? Is that how he's? Because obviously he had a wee bit more class at Aston Villa because of the amount of money he was spending, but he still had the big Norwegian fella and all that. Didn't he? You had Melberg at the back and stuff like that. It did.
Yeah. He had a great team there. He had a great team.
But it did follow the same Celtic scope of how
Absolutely.
they played. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do wonder if Martin O'Neill comes in, is this what we're going to be trading for? Is this what then that kind of negates the whole point of Dies and leaving, because we were going to have to change it up anyway. Everything was going to have, because we need to kind of put Ange's stuff away now. We need to move on to something else. I don't know. I think Martin O'Neill we should have been going somewhere, but to be honest, Martin O'Neill wasn't a born manager the first time. He wasn't. You know what I mean? He really wasn't. So that's why I don't think last season's performances really have any bearing on, because I can see it totally getting ripped up, as Jason says.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, would you go back to 3-5-2 in Scotland? I mean, he did it at a time where Rangers were so dominant the first time round, weren't they? So dominant that he had to find a way break that spell, I guess. And he had some really talented players, but the sheer power of the team broke most teams apart there. And then he had the quality to finish it off at the top end. I don't think we're not in that same kind of position just now with the teams we're up against. But I mean, you look at it, we're not blessed with great wingers just now. You could, let's say you did a 3-5-2, Johnson on the right wing back, Carter Vickers, Scales, Tierney, back three. Someone Sirachi or someone similar on the left. You've almost got the players there already, haven't you? Some decent midfielders. It wouldn't take much for him to get to that model of playing, two up front. But I don't know how valid it is for a dominating team in the modern game to be playing with 3-5-2, or it's more 3-4-3. I think these days, isn't it? Any teams that play three at the back.
I was more thinking we go 4-4-2.
Very few teams play that completely just now. I mean, we should be good enough to do that domestically, obviously, but we just fancy Europe and Champions League doing that.
Yeah, three in midfield's hard. Two in midfield against three is hard, no matter who you're playing at.
Yeah, it is, but obviously you get fucking benefits of other places in the park.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you win in those games in your midfield. I get that, but if you're willing to play the long ball, and you've got somebody that can hold the ball up, you've got somebody else. It's all about scoring goals.
I mean, I'm trying to think what game it was. Svanchera was started up front for us in the first half, and then an actual come on. It was at Celtic Park, and an actual come on, and it was against St Mirren at Celtic Park, and within seconds, he had fucking Gogic in his pocket, whereas Gogic was fucking killing Svanchera. I don't think Svanchera got a fucking. Exactly. It was unbelievable, and there was a wee ball right that Dyson wasn't great at it, but when our centre halves have got the ball, and obviously the press is right on top of our midfield, and our midfield are kind of often like to go wide. There's a big space for the centre forward, and Dyson's first touch, I don't ever remember, it was a game Dyson, every time he touched the ball, it fucking went out the park and all that. Remember that? And I remember in an actual come on, and he was just showing for it, and it was just coming, sticking to him, and then the next thing you know, we were up the park, and I love that. I love that type. I love a big forward. I see a big forward who's willing to do the doggies. I love the guys. I think they are brought now who are just there. They're not that mental and scoring. They'll score goals if they need to. I was listening to Jurgen Klinsmann, and he was talking about how unselfish Teddy Sheringham was, and obviously Andy Cole had that great partnership with him as well. If we could get ourselves a partnership, that would be fucking great. But again, we're talking about the three. We really should be in a position where our centre halves, one of them can at least push into midfield and be that third guy in midfield. Yeah. I mean, get back to the day we signed fucking Shane Duffy. There you go. I was excited about him. Fucking hell.
I saw that. I was too scared to mention it, but I saw that on my.
I can't give us a no.
What? I was being sarcastic. I was fucking raging when we signed him.
Really? I was actually fucking
cool. Joe. The timeline of events. We went to Kilmarnock, and big Julian get fucking ragdolled off a big French guy. I've no even a clue what the boy's name was. I don't think he lasted the whole season, but he ragdolled him, and everybody was. We need just an old-fashioned clear the ball centre half. And I remember arguing with everybody who fucking spoke to me, and I was like, the last thing Celtic need is a fucking old-fashioned centre-half. We need a centre-half who can fucking get the ball and ping the ball and find people. Do you remember the one at Parkhead? He got it. We were all watching on the telly. He got it, and he poked it in front of him. And then he poked it in front of himself. And then he poked it in front of him. And then he fucking volleyed it right out of the park. I was like, what?
I do remember this, actually.
Fucking dumpling, man.
He had a few of those moments where you're going like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
He was lucky not to get sent off in his debut. He ended up scoring the winner, I think. Fucking hopeless, man. If you remember, Jabo, I was off for signing Declan Gallagher. if you're going to sign that big fucking dude for thousands of pounds, give that boy a go. That was my thinking.
What do you think with the releasing of Stephen Welsh?
That's nuts, I think.
Strange.
Right, the timeline doesn't tie up, obviously, but who's making that decision?
Well, you would think it's Martin O'Neill.
It's got to be. And Martin O'Neill had him for how long? That fucking one game where he was pony against fucking was it Auckland?
So
I think Martin O'Neill's went, aye, I'll come back. Just let him go. So
how much would he have been on a week? 6-7 grand or something like that?
I'd say that. Aye, I think that's a fair shout. Do
He'll
you want to go through the squad?
He'll end up at Toulouse, won't he?
You hope so. I really hope he does, and I hope he does well. I hadn't grudged him. He's obviously tinned out. He's not the way he's fucking. You know what I mean? I do wonder how it'll affect us, like European squad wise, because he was always a big homegrown.
Dane Murray, isn't it? So he'll be the fucking man.
Yeah.
That's what I would have took him back and let Murray go out on loan for a season. It seemed to be a bit of a no-brainer, really.
I couldn't take to Welsh, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
And I'll be honest, because he never played against us for Motherwell, I don't think I watched enough of him to see if he's any good. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, me and Liam's pal Ross, big Morrow fan, goes. You spoke to him, Scott. So
Top
Ross
guy.
says out of the full Motherwell team under Bertalascu, Welsh was the best. Out of a lot of them, including your Elijah, just a lot of them. Says Welsh is best player on the team.
Yeah.
You're like, fucking, that's a guy that goes everywhere and loves his fucking team, and he's like, he's the best player on the team. That Hearts game I went to that night was fucking outstanding.
Yeah. I think I said in the chat, I'd like to see his stats for the season and not passes, because obviously he gets a lot of the ball playing in that system, but it'd be interesting to see his like tackles, duels won, whatever it is they measure defenders on, to see where he kind of stacks up against the others.
But, you know, Martin O'Neill doesn't no interest in that stuff. You've got a guy who's manager us that says, get all that in the bin, fucking listen to me. This is what matters here. And he might be right. He might be right. You know, who's to say the stats? I mean, I believe in stats. My job every day is going to be backed up with stats. You can't get fucking somewhere the line if the stats don't back it up. Do you know what I mean? So you're saying, how can Fitma be any different? But they'll tell you, it's different. You're like, well, it's not really.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting.
I believe in a thing called love.
See O'Neill's first time here. Obviously, we were well known to be such a big threat from set pieces, corners, and free kicks, whatever. And a number of them have come out and said they never, ever practice corners or set pieces in training ever under O'Neill. First time.
Right. Honesty, fuck, right? And Martin O'Neill has fucking lived a million lives more of football than I would know. But see that fucking everybody back near box defending a corner, that's infuriating, man. That is shocking. And then still fucking shankling for himself at the back post when they're doing him. Fucking infuriating, man.
We're doing the Villa 3 up front next season. It's the new way to do it.
I think that's podcast. Aye, I know. I'm into that. But the thing is, you need to have fucking quality defenders here if you're taking 3 and putting them in the fucking centre circle. You can't have fucking Haddies down there. Because the space they're getting, you know what I mean? The guys. But as you say, let's face it, seeing Scottish football, you're not coming up against top class opposition. We should be able to put 4 men in the halfway line.
Yeah. Big Liam Scales would defend the boxes on his own. No
danger. Right. I'm glad you brought him up.
Oh, here we go.
Right. We need a discussion here, and we need Joe. Was it you, Joe, that shared the link? It was a Harper shared the link last week.
The interview. Oh, but
what's the one with the snooker player with his Bobby?
Enough about Donald, right? Okay. I can't say too much. I'm fucking my ass still got the vote. But, see, who shared the link with Liam Scales as the old coach?
Aye, I saw it.
Was it me?
Was it you, Liam?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Right, so obviously you can take it away, but I want to
You'll get it wrong, judging by his earlier effort.
I know. Scott, maybe you can paraphrase for him. So, but
It's pre-season. I'm having a few weeks off. Come on.
So I just want to say how much I fucking love Liam Scales. And I walked off out of the park and there's a guy, and he's one of these guys. He's all right. He's bang on, a Celtic supporter, right? And he walks his dog at the same time. Normally, you're at the same time in the morning. He's there with his dog. He's always blaring a bit of football, but he's one of these guys who used to go years ago, never goes now, but he's always got 50 opinions about what should happen. And it was about 3 weeks to go of the season, and obviously things were going to shit. And I was kind of agreeing with him because I'm like, I can't see his doing anything. I think we're done now, it's gone. And he's turning like that, and I'm thinking, that fucking Liam Scales, see that bastard? And I just turned around and says, hold it there. I'm like, that boy's been class for us. I says, listen, I fucking follow that team home and away everywhere. And I says, I watch that boy every week. And I says, he's been class. I says, I'm not saying he's the best player in the world, but I says, he's head and shoulders against the rest of them. I says, he's the best defender in that team. And I says, if you put him up against Carter Vickers with me, then I would take Liam Scales, because Carter Vickers is never fit. I says, you've got to get... People don't actually put as much value on somebody that's never injured. I mean, it's
I'm glad you said that, Jason. It's so true. It's like you've said fucking everything.
It's worth its weight in gold. And by the way, how many mistakes does Liam Scales make in a game? He made the odd one.
None of that, Jason. How many other people's mistakes does he map up?
Aye. And he's fucking defending the box and everything. I'm telling you, he's fucking class. And God love him, man. And we're lucky to have him. And he's going to be a Celtic legend. Mark my words. HomeBhoys episode number 322.
Jesus.
I'm telling you.
Did you see the interview? It might have been post-cup final with him when he was talking about how much he loves it. Like, you see that?
I don't think so, Joe.
Who shared it, Joe?
No, I didn't share it. I got it myself. No, I'm really sure I shared it for this fuck's sake.
Do you know, I did see it, Joe.
He's wearing a white shirt. That was he dressed.
Aye. I did see it.
He basically he says, "I love it here. I love it here."
Aye. So, Liam,
Yes.
I'll trust you in this. So, give the listeners.
I'm keeping this very simple this time, right? So, apparently, as a boy, he was a winger, but not only a winger, a tricky winger. I think that was the gist of the article, wasn't it?
I'm fucking geered about right. So I'll do it then. So basically, Liam shared a video of Liam Scales' old youth coach. Is it Wicklow he comes to, Joe?
Arklow,
sorry. So apologies to everyone in Wicklow there.
Oh, Arklow's in Wicklow though.
Oh, right, there you go.
Arklow's a town. Wicklow's a county.
It's up to fuck.
Is it full of copites like the rest of fucking Ireland?
You know, Arklow's
Arklow.
It's a lovely wee kind of port town. It's lovely.
Aye. So anyway, it was his old youth coach, and he basically said, he says Liam Scales wasn't he? He says I couldn't believe. He says we're looking at his stats, and he mentioned that Liam Scales had the most complete passes in Europe at one point. Obviously, just because he's passing it about the back a lot of it. But what he said was, he says when he was a kid, he says he was a winger, but he emphasised, he says it wasn't just a winger, he says he was a tricky winger. He was a ball-playing winger. He used to attack players and he would go by them. And he says, I could not believe when I've seen him making the grade that he was a central defender. He says, I could not believe it. He says, because when he played with us as a kid, he was a winger. And he says he used to attack the line, he would beat players, dribble by them. He says he was outstanding. So there you go. So
Funny old game, Saint.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty much said that, to be honest.
You did.
Oh, yeah. Yours is a bit more succinct.
No, you just basically couldn't wait to get off the night and just says, "Oh,
well, I've had my fingers burnt tonight, so I'm not going there again."
Your confidence took a wee fucking rattle there.
Don't let the bastards grade you down, Liam. If I have an example to anybody on fucking any podcast, don't let the bastards grade you down.
I've had one mistake in 300 hours of podcasting. Fuck that. Not going there again.
I'm still waiting for that mistake to come. Here we go.
Fucking hell, man.
We all remember the Sticks 2 game, Jason.
Fucking every.
I'm the old boy.
Fucking God bless Neil Lennon.
Oh my goodness.
Right,
Right,
I'll
what?
give you my opinion on Liam Scales.
Right, go for it.
Right? Everything you've said there until your last bit, as per Jason, you're good, I think, and then you get carried away with yourself. Right? The legend part, I'm not jumping on board with that as of yet.
Aye, you've approved
It's happened before, it will happen again. I think he deserves a lot more credit and a lot more slack than he gets. Celtic fans, as well we know, can be fucking unfairly cruel until a point. Like James Forrest get abused practically his whole Celtic career. Now people are going, oh, fucking told you, Celtic legend and all that. And you're like, fucking aye, I remember. There's a reason Liam Scales at 650 grand for Shamrock Rovers gets the ball after the team, and he's the guy who's expected to come forward rather than the £6 million ex-Premiership centre-half. Do you know what I mean? Or even the the two £6 million ex-Premier League centre-halves. So, as I say, there needs to be a wee bit of respect put on his name. He's far from perfect. I think we're all kind of cool with that. I think if we could get better than him, we should get better than him. But the fact is, we've went and signed a Polish international who'd just come from winning the league. We signed a couple of Swedish internationals. We've signed a boy who won Premier League 2 Player of the Year. We signed another one for Bournemouth, and none of them came close to displacing. So, and see, the Scottish media, they were bending themselves backwards to tell us how great the two Rangers centre-halves were and how they were going to make Rangers millions, absolute millions, because how good they were. And I talked to my mate who's a Rangers fan and says, see how really good our players are? They're no desperate to defend. They're no desperate to keep that ball out. They're good in the ball and they'll take the ball and they'll look like superstars, but they've no got that desperate, I don't want to concede this goal. And I think Scales has. I think Scales is good. He's a team player.
Yeah.
I think he reads the game really well, but he has got limitations. As far as him being a tricky winger, it's a lovely story, but who gives a fuck? I mean, how many fucking said? No, honestly, how many said?
A nice story. That's all I'm saying.
Jamie Carragher scored 50
fuck that
goals.
feels good story. Fuck his coach. Fuck
Jamie Carragher scored 50 goals in a youth team. He was a centre forward. You know what I mean? And look at many goals did Jamie Carragher actually score for Liverpool.
Fuck him.
Exactly. Well, I didn't want to bring him up, but he kind of pisses on a fucking. He's playing in Ireland against fucking dumplings like me, you know what I mean? They one of these fucking tricky winger, you know what I mean? So
yes,
guys are on about the hurling sticks and all that. He's getting by them.
this Liam Scales appreciation fucking thing is taking a left turn.
But the fact is, would I desire better than Liam Scales playing in our defence? Of course. Is Liam Scales, when things are bad, is Liam Scales the major concern? No, he's fucking not. He's not. Last season was a problem with our midfield and attack, and the defence got the brunt of it. Some of the fucking absolute bullshit I heard after some of my best mates. I told you the story last year. I missed the Aberdeen game away, the first one up there. Would we win 2-0, I think? I think Negrin scored in that game as well. And my mate says, he says on the chat, Liam Scales was deplorable. So I hadn't seen it and I'd taped it and I watched the whole game back. And now that way I'm just looking at Liam Scales. And don't get me wrong, he makes 2 really bad passes. 2 in the attacking third. Right? 2 passes that he really should have done better with. in the attacking third. Defensively, it was sound as a pound. Never made one fucking mistake, but he made 2 bad offensive passes, and people are calling him deplorable. And do you know what stood out in that game? Was Rio Hatate and how wasteful he was on the ball. And I'm not talking about him trying to play killer boys. I'm talking about him playing simple passes to the side. So bad. He was so bad. And that was, I think it solidified my support for Liam Scales at the point, but it kind of turned me against Rio Hatate. Because remember at that point, every mistake we made, defence were hopeless, whereas the midfield were a fucking shambles last year
Well,
at the start.
My biggest endorsement with Liam Scales is like, at the minute, somebody's going to have to come and take his jersey off him. I mean, like he is, like he's
like the kit man.
No, you don't know what I fucking mean. He's one of the first names on the team sheet for fucking effort. For effort alone, for as someone said, they're reading the game. His ability to pull a team out of a hole. Is his passing shite? Is some of his decision making bad? It can be, but again, he's also been really pivotal in a lot of fucking crucial goals as well. I mean, the ball over the top for Tierney for Dizan's goal against the Huns, brilliant. I mean, shit like that there gets overlooked.
So somebody comes in. There's an open question to you. Somebody comes and try and buys him tomorrow. Much are you looking for?
9 million.
I think you're talking about a £10 million centre half.
Huh? At least 9, 10.
It's got what you said. I love what you said there, right, about the way you described him there, right? And he's incredible at defending his box. You know, I've called him out a number of times for his distribution, right, which is not very good. And it's surprising given that he played as a more attacking player before. But, you know, there could be a lot of factors behind that. But, you look at the centre-halves Rangers had last season. You had Giga. I think he was he not a £10 million player at some point then in the Premiership? And the boy Fernandez, who has been quoted as getting 20 million for him, which there's fucking no chance of that, surely. But they're great on the ball when they got loads of time just to stroll through and, you know, use the ball, but they're fucking hopeless. I mean, look at the goals where people just walk through the middle of them. They're absolutely hopeless. But I don't know. I think he's far more valuable to us than he is to other teams, I think, in terms of what you might get back for him. So I hope he stays. I hope we get a few more years out of him. I do hope we get Carter Vickers back to what he was as well previously, because I think the two of them now would be a pretty formidable partnership.
All we want for our guys who are in our team is to try their fucking damnness and get better. That's all we can ask for our guys. Know what I mean? If you're
better all the time.
And Scales is getting better. Scales is a much better player than the guy who first came in the team. I repeat, I would like better, but I would like better than everybody. Everybody. So, and that should be our aim. Even when we fucking get better, we should be looking for better than him.
I mean, how often is Scales less than a 7 out of 10 when he plays?
Never.
Yeah, he has been.
Okay, very occasionally, but he's never maybe an 8 and a 9 too often. But he's just so solid, so reliable.
I think he is an 8 and a 9 regular.
It's not regular, but he's had some great performances.
I think that's a stretch for even for me. I mean, I love him. I mean,
no, I think he's a solid 8 most games.
I say his lowest is probably a 7.
What was it? Fon's done, jumped the shark.
We are now at 2 hours. I think we've covered everything. Flynn's not coming on, so
we've covered none. We've said nothing but none.
One thing I would like to bring up that kind of pissed me off was Rio Hatate cup final, no even getting in the squad, and towards the end of his career with us, well, we all believe it's the end of his career with us, just no even getting the chance to say Churio, or I think that was fucking.
It does seem cruel.
And,
it seems cruel. I do understand. It seems cruel. Is what I'm saying. Like, it's like at the end of the day,
I get
it's a ruthless world. Fucking get over yourself.
I get the ruthless fucking thing, but he could have been in that squad, cup final squad. fucking no for sentimental reasons. He's a quality player, and I just think the way Neil treated him towards the end was fucking shit. I don't know what goes on in the training ground.
I think Martin O'Neill had a fucking tunnel vision fucking approach to it, going like fucking nothing is going to distract me
The bottom line is
from getting wins out of this fucking team.
He'd have loved Egan fucking eternally grateful for him, but I just thought it was pish.
It's interesting you say that, because I started a thread on the Huddle Board about this the day after the cup final, because you know where I was in the kind of corner flag at Hampden on the Celtic end, the one towards the main stand, and I hadn't really noticed him, but when the players kind of did a little celebration thing there after the game, he looked completely lost in his suit with his hands in his pockets. He wasn't joining in. He looked
seen a photograph of it, sort of.
Yeah, he looked super uncomfortable, and I was kind of like, that's terrible, because he has made a decent contribution in the time he was here. I was trying to start the Rio Tati song myself, and nobody was fucking joining in whatsoever. So I put a thread up on the Huddle Board, nothing contentious, just went, it's pretty sad. Like just what you've said there, Jason. It was really interesting, because it was a real divided opinion. Like half the people were like, yeah, agree, he's been a big, contributor to us, blah, blah, blah. And the other half were like, fuck him. I've said a few times last season, he's fucking terrible. He's chucked it. He's doing nothing. Get him out of the team. But when he plays, he's brilliant. But I think a lot of the chat that came out was his stats were coming back as running 2K less than other players in the team or other midfielders in the team.
There's your fucking fuck.
Hey, what do you mean there's your thing? Mate, Martin O'Neill doesn't deal with stats. He just deals with fucking guys in the park.
You've told us. Martin O'Neill's never said it to me.
No.
Mate, I can't believe we're going. I know you liked him, right? And I know you thought he was our best player and all that. Rio Tati does my tits in. Done my tits in. See him fucking Bologna, I would have fucking punted him that day. And I would never let him fucking back in the club.
Right?
I appreciate how good he could be. But we can't. We're there to fucking win things. We're there to get back and we're giving him a place just because fucking he looks sad. Fucking boo-hoo. Bernardo's no the kick a ball and he's there celebrating with his team because his team won. No fucking sitting thinking about himself. Fuck him.
That's a fair point, no. By the way, somebody racking up a game of pool here or something.
Marty Flynn here. Marty Flynn here.
You looking for some chalk or something, pal?
He's on a roller coaster.
Coming on, so come on, fucking badness.
He's looking for Judd Trump's chalk, I think.
Well, I'm driving. I was trying to listen to the show. I've been driving the fucking and I couldn't get a proper signal, so you were
trying to get buyers for the Rock Bar. You trying to get a syndicate together.
Fuck me! I'm on a fucking sweat in case they don't do it. Fuck what? No, I mean that's an institution. Like fucking the same way Carstairs is a fucking institution. Same with the Rock Bar.
Is it the same kind of clientele?
Authentic rockets on the fucking inside and authentic rockets on the outside. But
there's a blessed bit McGuinness said, make sure when you're in at a fucking Man United at Liverpool playing, keep the noise down, boys. That's what they said to us.
What the fuck? That's nuts. What the fuck? No, I can't believe that. Like, crazy. But no, I've just been running the boot. I'm away tomorrow, so I was just fucking trying to get things tied up there. All our tickets sorted and everything, so we're all good. Good to go.
Where are you off to the morning?
Cork, bye.
Cork for the semis.
Down at Cork.
We're off for the Munster final. So we are, so we're all good. There's 12 of us going, we've all got our tickets, so we're fucking flying Brian, Jimmy Dean.
Who are you supporting tomorrow?
No, nobody, just it's on Sunday. But I'm not fussed who wins, so it's as long as it's a good fucking tear lumps out of each other. That's all I'm interested in.
I always wanted to ask you that because you obviously go to all the All-Ireland finals, the hurling finals, never. Do you know just pick a team? If you know get Ireland mapped to it, the ones that you like and the ones that you don't like, or you just totally neutral?
Not really. Sure, you know what I mean. You want Ireland to fucking win.
There's no answer. You don't care.
Fucking chance of that happening. No, you would usually. you would usually cheer the underdog, whichever team you think is gonna, either maybe trying to make a breakthrough or, maybe just haven't been there in a few years, then you'd want them to win. But Cork are obviously a powerhouse team, but they've fallen short for like they had a player strike about 20 years ago and they've never fucking recovered from it really. And their big rivals will be Tipperary and they're kind of in their shadow. And they have a brilliant team. They have a really, really good team. So they're coming of age. You can see them getting better and better every season.
Is this the
But they're
best since the Alpine days, do you think?
It is, Joe. It is all right. But again, they're Cork people, so they're all fighting among each other today. Like there's some of the old players are having to go with the fucking manager and shit like that. It's fucking mad. But they're up against Limerick, and Limerick are bankrolled by Dermot Desmond's mate, McManus, JP McManus. The McManus family bankrolled the Limerick fucking hurling outfit. So. Like for years, Limerick were really a sort of a nothing team. They were bobbing up and down Division 1, Division 2. Nobody really gave a fuck about them. And see now, they're just a machine. And like, you want to see, they're like every single player on the team's a fucking monster. And they've been brilliant this last 10 years. So it'll be a cracking match. The two of them should be absolutely flying at each other.
Tell me something, Marty, right? And on a football kind of vibe here. Is it all to do with the manager? There's a lot more to it.
Well, so it's different from soccer, obviously, Jason, because you can't buy players. You know what I mean? You're giving the players that you have.
I get that. So is it today with? Is it? I don't know. Is it today with like the culture in the county that more people are getting involved, or is it
very much so.
Is it specifically? Does the manager make a massive difference like he does in football?
Oh, he can't. A manager can make a huge difference, absolutely, and not just like in the same way Martin O'Neill can do. He doesn't actually have to fucking do anything; he just has to turn up. So you've got those classic managers of the past, like Jimmy Barry Murphy and people like that, and Jim Nelson in Antrim, who took us to the All Ireland final. Like players would fucking literally kill for them. You know what I mean? They would fucking run through buses to play for them and stuff like that. So, and then we've had a manager up here in Antrim, Davy Fitzgerald, who's really well known, but he's flopped. He's totally flopped. The players just didn't buy into what he was selling, and there was a shade about money, and he's getting all this money, and there was a bit of resentment in the county, and it just kills you. That sort of bollocks just kills you stone dead. You want everybody just to be going in the one direction, and your manager should be setting the tone, for that. And like you've got selectors and boards and things here too that liaise with the clubs and all that kind of thing. So it's a very different setup than soccer. As I say, it's parish based. So you could have seriously like fucking Ronaldo playing for some small parish down the country. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they only play inter-county for part of the year. The rest of the year they're just wheeling away with their clubs. Just they could be playing against, and they do play against postmen and fucking brickies and whoever else. But their levels of fitness are beyond belief. Like for an amateur sport, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like, and it should be brilliant on Sunday. You should tune in. It'll be on the TV on Sunday. It'll be on the Fire Sticks and all the rest of it. I don't know if it's on Sky, but this is the new stadium. So me and brother Macquarie have been in the old Cork Stadium, but I haven't been down to the new one yet. So I'm looking forward to it, just to get into Park Keeve and see what it's like. It's a 50,000 seater. Celtic played there last year, if you remember. Celtic played on the Rogers last year in the friendly. So it's a cracking big spot, and Cork is a tremendous town to get drunk in. So I'm out 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm not coming home till fucking the train's at 9 o'clock on Sunday night. I've brought 3 pairs of trunks, black trunks. We'll be fucking drinking Murphy's until the fucking cows come home. If anybody fucking sees me around Friars Walk or whatever, just ignore me, because I'll be pie-eyed. I'll be fucking puzzled.
Well, you need to tell Jeremy Pat Mulcahy, you're my pal. If you're in
no problem. Yeah, if we're in, we'll say hello. So we'll. But Cork's a cracking spot. Like, it really is. Great town. Really good town. So
fuck you for a start, right? Martin O'Neill, what's your thoughts before we fucking wrap this up? Fuck.
It's number one. It shows the lack of ambition on the part of the board. And Scott's always banging on about this. Like when we were talking about it during the week in our group chat, the fact that we were letting players go, And Scott was going, but surely the fuck somebody's making these decisions. My point always is they're making completely financial decisions. We're run by accountants and they're looking at the balance sheet and going, get him out, get Palm out, get fucking Welch out. Do you know what I mean? And so that's one aspect of it, that kind of fucking lack of ambition. They haven't really looked around. We all know that now. And they obviously don't trust Sean Maloney enough to give him the fucking job, or they would have done that. They'd have stepped him up, you know, to take the big job. So it's probably as good as it could have been, because we could have had Robbie Keane, and that would have had absolutely disastrous effects on the whole shooting match, because the whole talk would have been about Robbie Keane, you know, for the rest of the year. And the first match that he lost or he drew or whatever else, the fans would just turn on him because they didn't want him in the first place. Whereas now the board of a mudguard, you know, they're not going to get any criticism because they gave us what we wanted, basically. That we didn't get Robbie Keane and the heroes back, the managers and stuff like that, you know. But like, with a 74-year-old man in charge, he's going to have to do a Champions League game, or a Champions League schedule at best, and at worst a UEFA Cup, you know, a UEFA Cup campaign. And it's tough on a man that age, you know. So I would imagine that Maloney and Fotheringham will be taking a bigger role this time around. He's probably going to have to let them do it, you know, to take some of the weight off him. And here, in fairness to them, they did a good job. Like, either side of Wilfred Nancy, they did a good job. You know what I mean? They didn't do a bad job. They got the team. Yes, we did have bad results, but you could always have bad results. The running, everybody clicked. Everybody seemed to be on the same page. O'Neill set the tone for it, and everybody followed. So I genuinely think it's as good as it could have been under the circumstances. And we all know Dermot Desmond's making the decisions here, and Dermot Desmond knows fuck all about football. Do you know what I mean? He's not watching fucking German second division matches on a fucking Tuesday night or something. Do you know what I mean? He's not. And the power of the club rests with him. You know, so as I say, it could have been a lot worse.
Yep, that's pretty much sums up everything we've been saying. Start of the show, it's all about now. It could have been a lot worse. So, but also that's a depressing feeling in itself at times as well. Though, when you're looking for progress, you're looking for change, you're looking for something that fucking sparks and ignites your fucking, you know, hope.
And there's money in the bank.
There's comfort in this decision, and that's about it.
Yeah, but there's money in the bank. You know, when O'Neill was here before, like after the Seville season, he literally was not given a fucking washer to spend the whole season, and that was one of our best seasons when we almost got through to the Champions League stages at that stage. So it's you would hope that Maloney and the scouts and stuff like that have been working on players and have been doing the background work, so that he can just come in and say, right, yes, get him now, you're in place. After the World Cup, we need to hit the ground running. We're straight into pre-season. You know, there's no time. You know, we just have to get on with it and get wired in. So, fingers crossed that happens. And like, Martin O'Neill has more pull than Brendan Rodgers, without a doubt. Like, you know, O'Neill can click his fingers and they'll listen to him. You know, he's much less of a firms man. So, you know, so they've come to him 3 times now, you know, to dig them out of holes, and he's done it every time. So here's hoping.
Well, we're at 2 hours 15 minutes. We'll wrap it up. Fuck.
Wrap it up. I'm heading to bed.
I'm here. Just before you go, I want to say this is the best audio we've ever had from you. You should do the podcast from your car more often.
That's what I am. I'm sitting outside my fucking man's here for a Gwen of about 10 minutes to move to get my car up off the street. But there we go.
Right, folks. I enjoyed that. That was good fun. That was good crack. Well, he's all still there. Jason, Scott, Liam, is there?
Oh, yeah.
Just before you go, Kevin Bridges has got a documentary on the beautiful game on BBC iPlayer. It's meant to be very good.
Oh, speaking of documentaries, so we got to go plug to this George Connolly thing.
Can you go, Joe?
I haven't got prepared. I'm just saying, are we going to?
So obviously, there's a documentary getting, and it'd be better if Harper was on it, because Harper's a good friend of George Connolly's son. So, me personally, I think it's going to be amazing, because I was raised on stories of George Connolly was one of the best Celtic players ever, and scored more goals in half a season than the rest of the league did in the full season, and then just gave up the game. So it was a mystery to everybody, and obviously he's had a book out now, and he's got a film that. So I think it's nice and fitting that, because we're probably the last generation that's heard the stories for our fathers. My dad always been on about it as one of the best Celtic players ever seen, since he was a Prince of football player. So there's this documentary getting made, and there's going to be a crowdfunding thing to try and help it go over the line. So we can probably share the stuff on our Twitter and stuff like that.
So basically, give me a shout. So it's a truly indie film by the fans, from the fans. It's at Cosmic Cat Films. Discover the untold story of George Connolly, and they've got a crowdfunder. So basically, if you're on Twitter or X, whatever it is, the sort of name of it is George Connolly, Far from the Madding Crowd, and this is at G Connolly Film, and so they got a crowdfunder, and it's moving forward, and the kind of teaser trailer looks really, really good. I've just retweeted it there now on our account, and we'll stick it on Facebook tomorrow as well. But I've met David back in the past. Me and Harper went to Alloa back years ago. We were first kind of friends, and it's a kind of a fascinating story about George Connolly. I mean, and like you said, Harper's got a very personal connection to it in a very real way, and I suppose like the town of Alloa as well, because I think that's where people kind of seen him after football. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. It's a really intriguing story, and to kind of hear how it went down. And there was never really anybody that kind of knew, was it, like, actually told like why it happened. I think the always assumption was like that life just wasn't for him. That spotlight life wasn't for him, and so on a personal basis, he just didn't want to deal with it.
There was always a rumour that went about, but I don't think really want to delve into that.
I don't think they know rumours. I just speculate. Right, that was good fun, lads. 2 hours 15 minutes. We'll be back with the season review. Scott, any timeline on that one?
Yeah, next week, some point.
Next week, season review. There you go, folks.
No, next Friday. Next Friday.
Nailed on, not Friday. Right.
Not Friday. I'll be winding my way to Boston.
Oh, that's right. Everybody didn't miss it. J-Bo's going to the World Cup for the Tartan Army. Sparring at the ready. Bird ball bag under his kilt.
He's a tartan terrorist.
No, we're all fucking kilts. I can figure a shit.
We're coming.
Big ginger hair outside that fucking tartan hat. Here we fucking go.
Come on, Hamish. Give us your plan.
I'm
Liverpool song now.
I'm looking forward to entering Boston with you know what flags are flying in just about every pub in Boston, so it should be a laugh.
So how long are you over for?
Friday till I leave there Monday night. Just going to the Haiti game, and the blessed arsehole convention, Mr. Sean Butler. I was on the phone to him just before we come on.
The arseholes always come through.
Sean actually lives 15 minutes away from the Gillette Stadium, so he's going to be doing his a wee turn after the game. And
he's opening the stadium up.
Aye, so I'm meeting Sean on Friday. Touchdown, don't know, back at 3 or something. So I should be in the Boozer in Boston at 4:30. Sean's going to come, get a few juices with us.
You staying in central Boston, are you? You staying like in Boston?
Just across the water for Back Bay in Cambridge. Just there.
Boston's a fucking great town.
Aye. So it's a village compared to New York's.
Aye. I know, but it's clean as fuck.
Oh, aye. So looking forward to it, but see the fucking carry on. See, don't want to fucking take the podcast on a bit, but see the corruption with FIFA and the shit that the Boston authorities have done to try and rip folk off. It's fucking unbelievable. Honest to God. So I joined one of the fucking Facebook pages with the Tartan Army, right? So
get him off the podcast.
Clement.
Honest to God, some of the shit they post is fucking wild, right? But one of the things they put up, these 3 Scotland fans started a ticket exchange. So it was basically for anybody that's got tickets. And the funny thing is now, see in the past week, you get loads of folk, I can't make it now, lost my brother and all that, see the sob stories. I've got these tickets and they've all paid all the odds for them. They're trying to get the money back. But tickets are now coming for face value. So people are all getting tickets now. If you held off, you're getting them. And see so loads of what the Scotland fans have done is they've booked places in towns outside Boston, so they're all staying there. So what's actually happened is the hotels in Boston that quadrupled their room prices, they can't sell them. So they're now selling the rooms at less than what they would normally be, but they can't get them sold because everybody's got digs sorted in these towns outside Boston. So it's a fucking shit show. And there's one train, 13 trains on the day of the game to Gillette Stadium. You can't get a normal public train on that route that day. Everything's for the World Cup. And if you go to see the New England Patriots, it's $20 return, but they're charging the Scotland fans $80 return. So loads of folk have got buses. But the thing is, that stadium's meant to be the worst sports stadium in the world to get to and to get out of, because there's one road in it and one road out it. So it's a 30-40 mile for Boston, and they're talking, if you're on a bus, you'll be 3 hours gone there and 3 hours coming back.
Fuck me.
So I've worked out, there's a train station, Mansfield, that's 6 mile away from Boston. There's trains running, it's $10 to get there. We're heading down there, fucking then going to get an Uber up to it, and then Butler's going to pick us up after the game. And he says he knows the back roads to get back to Boston.
Happy fucking days.
So, so
you're like a fucking tech. You always let your feet, you cunt, don't you?
Where there's a will, there's a way. I won't get into Gary's story. I'm fucking heartbroken.
Oh, no,
It's meant to become his passport. Fucking, he booked it up, then looked at his passport, and it's out of date. Fucking disaster.
Thank God you're only going to get it.
What's that?
Thank God you weren't going to expose him.
Aye. So there you go.
Your secret's safe with us, Gary.
I know. Oh, fucking devastated, man.
Aye, listen, looking forward to hearing about that. But aye, that was good fun, lads. Enjoyed that. We got a lot not sorted. And where we go. Right,
Absolutely.
season review
incoming. Jason's away. So Jason's away next week. So basically, the season review will be before the start of next season. That's the only promise we can give.
That is the timeline we can commit to right now.
That's it.
Sometime between now and then. Right? Hail, folks, lads. Good crack.
Cheers.
See you later.